Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10 people don't even like baseball. And that's America's pastime. It has an entire Hall of Fame that people visit just because they love baseball that much. Does that mean we should have a Hall of Fame? You can't frame legendary service. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 of our customers would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote today. Based on a 2023 customer survey, insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
Fantasy freaks and geeks. What's cracking? It's your boy James Koh back with my brand new project, the Sleeper King Football Podcast. Look, I get it. Okay, there's a lot of fantasy pods out there, but we're going to keep this one light, 15 to 20 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. And man, we are going to pack it with all the info you need. Season long, weekly projections, and of course, sleepers. Follow and listen to the Sleeper King Football Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Tom Shattuck here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with a weight.
1 minute.
Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. No, mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20-pound summer slim down.
Yeah,
Solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Trump. Trump.
Who in the hell does he think he is? Who does he think he is?
These people are sick.
Yeah. Welcome to your Tuesday, August the 20th, 2024. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Filling in for Todd Feinberg, we've got plenty of news and views and stuff to get into today. Who stayed up late? Who was forced to stay up till midnight last night? 12:15 even. Listening to the old man howl at the moon. Who does he think he is? You haven't heard the last of me. He sounded like every vaudeville villain I've ever watched as a kid. You haven't seen the last of me. I'll return. That's all I got. That's all I heard was a screaming old man at midnight, way past his bedtime. And thank God they didn't pan around to the audience all that much. But they tried to give him his due. They tried to send him off. Hey, this is your spot. By the way, anyone who's trying to figure out why Joe Biden would ever grace the airwaves at 11 o'clock at night to give a farewell speech where most of America, at least on the East Coast, was going to bed. which is the news media, just media all around. The East Coast, that's the prime they're going for. It's number one market right down the East Coast. Why they would allow him to be pushed back so far into the evening? You gave Raphael Warnock, Senator of Georgia, the prime time. Why was Raphael Warnock even there? No one even knows who he is. But they gave Raphael Warnock prime time speech time. I don't get it. And Joe Biden gets there, and I don't know about you, but maybe I watch this too much. But, and maybe call me up and let me know. 860-522-9842. 860-522-WTIC. Did they, at the White House, did they cut and paste other speeches and put them together for last night's 40-minute rant? Because I am positive I heard everything I've heard in every speech Joe Biden has given in the last 4 years. But there's something else you need to pay attention to here, folks. What was Biden doing last night? Why did he spend so much time talking about himself, his administration, and what he accomplished? What, because he was leaving? Because he needed to remind everyone? Partially. Not entirely, but partially. Let me break this down to you. Joe Biden wanted to make sure that no one forgot that everything he accomplished with Kamala Harris at his side. Everything he did, whether bad or good, Kamala Harris was his right-hand woman. Because Joe Biden knew that in order to keep Kamala Harris on, I guess, on this ascension, this plateau, there is going to come a time where the media has to separate her from Joe Biden because his policies were so bad. Do you understand how that works? The media knows that Joe Biden was horrible. They'll play it up. But when the tough questions come, like the debates, Kamala Harris already has, I was in the room with him. I was the last person to leave the room with him. When everything was going good, but now it's going south, Kamala Harris needs to win. She needs to save her own brand. And she has to separate herself from Joe Biden because everybody knows, whether or not they were screaming, I love you, Joe, for 15, 20 minutes or an hour. It doesn't matter because real people have real issues with this administration. They're failing miserably. They're starving. And they know it. And Kamala Harris needs to go out there and separate herself from the administration's ideas and its policies in order for her to be a fresh face. Otherwise, she's the other white meat. That's it. And Joe Biden knew that. But the DNC knew something even more. They got that speech ahead of time. The DNC had that speech ahead of time. It's on the teleprompter. They have to get it early. Someone got wind of what Joe Biden was doing. And they said, oh, yeah, we got to get him all the way back there. Yeah, put him as late as you can. Yeah, who's got a speech? Raphael Warnock? Yeah. Tell him to do double time on that speech. Just throw another hour and a half onto that speech. I don't care. Talk about anything. Talk about his congregation. I don't care. Talk about aliens. I don't care. Just keep him on until about 10:30, and then we'll get Joe Biden on somewhere near midnight. I don't care. Just anybody. Everybody talk. Just everybody talking. I don't care who it is. Is there somebody? Is it janitor? There's a janitor. Can he talk? That's what they did. They were panicking. Joe Biden went out there and said anything and everything associated with Kamala Harris. I did this. Kamala was there. I did that. Kamala was right there. All of my policies, Kamala signed on to. Because when he's gone, remember, he's the guy who was ousted by Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, maybe even Jim Clyburn. Maybe Jim Clyburn. He's staying mum. And soon, what's the word going to be from those individuals to the media? Okay, listen, now separate her from him. How do we do that? Just bash his policies. Say Kamala was just doing her job. She was just following the leader. She was doing what she was supposed to do. Co-sign everything that the president did, but she didn't really believe in it. She played her role and she played it well. That's how that works. You don't think that they're going to throw Joe Biden under the bus? They gave him his swan song. They got 5 months to destroy him. They'll destroy everything he did. This will be the moment where the news media will be critical of Joe Biden to save Kamala Harris. She can't win on his record, clearly. When everyone is screaming and hollering about joy, and I said this yesterday, joy? What joy? In the party with the elites? Absolutely. They finally got rid of the albatross around their neck, Joe Biden. They got somebody fresh. They got everything DEI is supposed to give them. They got a black, so-called Asian female running for president of the United States. They've got Hillary Clinton Black 0.0. Seriously. And don't forget, they got ambiguously straight Tim Walz as well. Are you kidding me? They got everything. They've got it all. I would have just hired Pete Buttigieg, but, maybe they needed a cover. So they got Tim Walz. But they got the ticket. They got the dream ticket. Female, biracial, football, ambiguously straight coach. They're perfect. Put them out there on the ticket. We need to put them in as a fresh, because they're not a fresh face. That's the whole thing about this. What they're trying to sell this as is that Kamala Harris is a fresh face, but she's not. And you know what the criticism has been? The criticism has been all of this stuff that she keeps talking about that she's going to do on day one, that she can do right now. What do you think the response is going to be when she gets to the debate stage? When Donald Trump hits her on that one point. You're going around, Kamala, talking about you can do this and that on day one, but you've been in office for over 1,000 days. Why not just do it now? Well, Joe Biden just won't let me do it. He's the president of the United States. Then the question will be, Joe Biden won't give Kamala the reins. They'll demonize him. Soon he'll be an evil white man. That's bound to happen. He'll be the evil white man who the media will finally recognize gave a eulogy at Robert Byrd, former Klansman's funeral. Yeah, they'll finally recognize that. Soon the media will start talking about the comments about a racial jungle. The part that made me laugh was somebody last night referred to, I think it was Clyburn, in fact, speaking of him. Did Clyburn last night, I'll find the audio. Clyburn tried to suggest that Joe Biden was akin to Martin Luther King Jr. Maybe the third, but not Martin Luther King Jr. I talk about a stretch. Now, I laugh whenever Donald Trump says I was the best president for the African-American community since Abraham Lincoln. I get a kick out of it when he says it because I know it's going to drive the libs wild. But for Clyburn to say that Joe Biden was akin to Martin Luther King Jr., I keep saying to myself, I hope one day my black daughter and my black child will finally get to go to a school with white children and create the racial jungle that will get my children attacked, if not assaulted. Really, that guy? That guy is akin to Martin Luther King Jr.? I can't wait to meet Barack Obama, that clean and articulate black man. That is who you're saying Joe Biden is akin to? Martin Luther King Jr.? It's laughable. They're going to destroy Joe Biden at this point. You notice no Democrats have come out after this report by James Comer about the $27 million that the Biden family has been able to fleece from foreign agents. There's been no Democrat even standing up defending Joe Biden. Not one bit. They gave him his swan song, and now they've got... Do I have to tell you this? You know they eat their own. Everything they did here was I hate the word coup. They stabbed the man in the back. Crazy part about it is that Joe Biden isn't even angry at them. He's still angry at Donald Trump, but that's his fault. He's angry at Donald Trump because he made all of those jokes about Donald Trump. Hey, I'll debate you 3 or 4 times. I hear you're free on Wednesday, and then you have the first debate, and you crumble like a cookie. You got shown up by your bitter enemy. That's where all of that anger was last night, is about Donald Trump, that Donald Trump left him in the place where he was last night, sorrowful, bitter, dejected, rejected. I wanted him to go down in a blaze of glory. I wanted him to scream, holler, call out Nancy Pelosi, call Barack Obama every which way. Why not? I mean, 5 months, it's over. You know? This is kind of one of those moments where you got to blow the place up figuratively. Just say, screw this. I'm not running for political office again. I'm going home. I don't have to talk to the press, and he doesn't. But yeah, you could damn well bet, in order to get Kamala Harris across the finish line, there's only one way you could get her across the finish line. You got to demonize the guy who she's tethered to. And she's tethered to him for 4 years. So, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know whether or not Kamala Harris will be able to get that far away from Joe Biden. And I think primarily for one reason. CNN will probably do its best to play down the middle. CNN will try its best to play down the middle. So they may hit her where she is responsible, you know, like the illegal aliens, the border crisis, things like that. They may hit her there. They will definitely hit her on her economic policies. That she's getting from all sides. And that's primarily, I told everyone that was going to happen. Once you start sounding like Bernie Sanders, the left has to get away from you. That's the reason why Bernie Sanders was not the candidate in 2016. Because Democrats would have to defend socialism or communism for that matter. And they don't want to be associated with it. They don't want to be associated with it. Their policies may suggest it, but they don't want to be recognized as socialists. They are socialists identifying as freedom fighters. But when she came out with that economic policy, anyone and everyone in the Democrat Party, meaning the media, they immediately bashed it. And I think the Washington Post had a great one that says when your opponent is calling you a communist, it's best not to start talking about price control, something to that level. So it's I'm telling you, just watch it begin. Joe Biden will be in hiding. He won't have to care. Again, he doesn't have to. They'll malign him. But Kamala Harris, if there's going to be a defense of her, it's to separate her from Joe Biden and then bash Joe Biden while they're doing it. Because they're done with him now. That speech was it. We'll get into that and much, much more. Barack Obama speaks tonight. When we get back, I'm going to explain to you why Barack Obama's speech is on a Tuesday, the day after the swan song of his vice president. Why it's on Tuesday and not on a Thursday. Adam Kinzinger is on Thursday. where Kamala Harris accepts the nomination. I'll explain why Barack Obama is going to be so early. And it lends to the theory that I had a long time ago, as soon as she got the nod from Joe Biden that she'd be the candidate. So we'll get that, and we'll get to that, and we'll get to your phone calls. As I said, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America, N.A.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
It's time to clear the shelters. Since we started 10 years ago, NBC, Telemundo, and you have helped over 1 million pets find their forever families. Let's make our 10th year the biggest yet. Are you ready to find your new best friend? If you want to help but can't adopt, your donations can go a long way. Adopt or donate today. For more information, head to nbcconnecticut.com/cleartheshelters. Brought to you in part by WTIC News Talk 1080.
I believe I heard Eric Semmel on the radio and then heard that he was from Tab Computer Systems, and I gave him a call.
That's Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services. He had problems with his computer network.
Our business runs 5 different servers for our different profit centers, and our network was complex to the point where we had different businesses going on in our server room. Tab understood them all and was able to take care of us.
How well has Tab taken care of Swiss Cleaners' computer network?
They have a great service department. Anytime I call, anytime I email, anytime I communicate, they immediately respond appropriately. We've been using them for 14 years, and in our business, we cannot operate without our network being up, and I'm proud to say that thanks to Tab Computer Systems, we've never been down.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
And now, a WTIC news update.
3:30, 69 degrees, partly sunny skies, mix of clouds and sun in Hartford. I'm John Silva. Governor Lamont has submitted a request for federal aid for areas devastated by flooding from heavy rains over the weekend. Lamont made the request of President Biden and FEMA for emergency declarations for Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. Meantime, the cleanup continues in those areas. The Connecticut Insurance Department offering guidance for those who've been impacted. They've got a number of tips on their website at portal.ct.gov/CID. Woman's dead following a fiery crash on I-395 in the town of Lisbon Monday night. State troopers say Angeli Barrios was killed when the vehicle she was riding in hit a bridge abutment near exits 18 and 19 in Lisbon. The driver sustained serious injuries and is in the hospital. Former President Barack Obama returning to the Democratic National Convention stage 2 decades after he made his debut. His job's different this time. In 2004, Obama was a young state senator from Illinois, stumping for the nominee John Kerry. Now he'll make the case for Vice President Harris. Specialist cave divers are working in 12-minute underwater shifts. They're searching for 6 missing passengers and crew, including British tech tycoon Mike Lynch, believed to be in the submerged wreck of a luxury yacht that was slammed by a powerful storm and swiftly sank off Sicily. WTIC News Time is coming up on 3:32. From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network, still a couple of issues out here on the roads this Tuesday in Plainville. They're still working a crash on 84 West between exits 33 and 32. That has the left lane blocked. That's a tractor trailer and a vehicle hung up there. Still lots of road closures due to the storm over the weekend. Still seeing the road closures in Monroe, in Southbury, in particular, Oxford, Route 34, 67, still impacted. Just in, a two-vehicle crash in Meriden on 91 southbound between exits 19 and 18. That is in the right lane. WTIC Weather Center sees partly sunny, breezy conditions today, low 70s. It's cool tonight under partly cloudy skies, still breezy, mid-50s, and then a mix of clouds and sun for Wednesday. Don't rule out a shower. High once again in the low 70s. 69 is the temperature right now in Hartford. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, Don Cussin here. With summer travel upon us, before you hit the road, have your car or motorhome checked out by Cussin Automotive. When was the last time your vehicle had a thorough inspection and not just an oil change? Your tires, what condition and how old are they? Your cooling system, what condition are your belts and hoses in? Are your brakes ready for a road trip? What about your engine? Is it running at peak performance? Based on the price of gas, be sure you optimize your fuel mileage. So before you head out, do it right with Cussin Automotive.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I work at the seafood counter at Big Y.
And I'm Mark, an aspiring seafood chef.
A few months ago, Mark didn't know the difference between halibut and haddock.
I do now, and I know that the best fish comes from your local partner, North Coast Seafoods. It's more than food, it's my Big Y.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Biana's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hello, this is Mary from Berlin. Our family chose Allaire Elder Law to help us in getting our mom into the right nursing home that worked best for her and our family. Although her parents had a will, power of attorney, and healthcare representative forms, they were old and out of date. Allaire was able to handle the new documents along with generating a testamentary trust that fit best for our parents' current situation. Once that was completed, Allaire told me as the power of attorney what I needed to do to save as many assets as I could. Our family continues to use Allaire's elder care services to promote mom's health, safety, and well-being. Allaire's care coordinator continues to take part in mom's care plan meetings, and she continues to advocate for mom's right to quality care. Without Allaire Elder Law, we certainly would not have been able to save the assets we did, nor be in the position we are in today.
Find out more at AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Oh, Mama.
Hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
And 10.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster
Thanks, sir.
care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
What's up, everybody? You know, it's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Ooh, yeah. Like the sound of that. Reese on the Radio. One of my favorite bands, the Arctic Monkeys. On News Talk 1080 WTIC. I say it all the time, and I don't say it to brag. I'm not much of a brag. I don't boast. You know, I have confirmation of the things that I say, and I thank everyone who always tells me one of my favorite things they say is like, Reese, you have such an interesting take on things. And I go, thank you. I appreciate that. It is not to provoke, not to shock. I'm not trying to look for the most outlandish point of view. I'm not that guy. It's that I sort of look at things maybe in an obscure way. I just try to get involved. I pay attention in a weird way. It's always been kind of my thing as a kid. I was questioned everything. God, I remember the first time somebody told me, question authority. And I went, okay. That was music to my ears. If you're just joining us, I was talking about Barack Obama. Barack Obama is going to speak today on Tuesday, which again doesn't make sense. It's too early, right? We got 3 days of this left. Joe Biden, the Monday Swan song made sense. Get him in, get him out, get it over with. Barack Obama, second, again, the most popular Democrat in history. Regardless of what you think about the votes Joe Biden got in 2020, Barack Obama is the most popular Democrat. He's more popular than Bill Clinton. People are they're souring on Bill Clinton so bad. I think it was SC Cup on CNN and some others said that Bill Clinton shouldn't even be allowed to speak at the DNC this year. So they've soured on him. I'll get into the Barack Obama thing in a second on why I think he's there. What I think of Barack Obama and his usefulness in the Democrat Party. But before we took a break, I said Barack Obama and everyone else in the DNC must separate Kamala Harris from Joe Biden. Well, look no further than the Daily Beast. Not a conservative rag by any stretch. The Daily Beast headline, Barack Obama faces major dilemma with DNC speech. Barack Obama has been given the tricky role by DNC organizers to distance Kamala Harris from Joe Biden's presidency while still giving her credit for some of his achievements in office, according to a report. Finding the right words to wade through the dilemma was deliberately placed in the hands of the party's greatest living orator. The former president's task is to separate Harris from Biden's presidency while boosting her role during his term to bring confidence that she will be able to move ready-made into the White House. In other words, sort of say that she's already near the White House. You should just push her along. But again, why do you have to separate her from Joe Biden if Joe Biden's accomplishments were so great? Nancy Pelosi said it herself. He was one of the greatest presidents in history. Many people said that the man belonged on the Democrat Mount Rushmore. But Barack Obama's there to separate her from the greatest president since, what, Eisenhower? The former president spoke at the 2016 convention. Okay, none of that makes any sense. Anyway, but yeah, Daily Beast with that article today. 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Ralph in South Carolina. Hello, Ralph. You're on Reese on Radio.
Good afternoon, Reese. There's two things I'd like to question you and your audience about, if possible. Okay. First one, on abortion. Excuse me. Who makes the decision when life begins? Some scientist?
Oh,
And
that's
then you get 10,
it's
you
a
get
great
10
question.
scientists you get 10 scientists who say just the opposite?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I mean it's interesting science the way it works like that. You can pretty much pick your scientist, and hopefully he's not political. But you'd still, even if you didn't get a political scientist or a scientist involved in politics, you would probably still get 10 different answers. I just saw something. It's funny you said that about scientists. What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson. There's an old clip that just resurfaced, or people have been sort of resharing it, of him talking about, as a scientist, this guy's an astrophysicist, saying that it's science to suggest because a man feels like a woman, he is one. This guy is supposed to be, I mean, his job is to search for truth. And he's politicized the entire realm of science. It's just who they are.
And that's the problem. Another thing, and this, again, just throwing this out, when you plant a tree, Reese.
Yes.
And the tree is growing. Is the tree alive?
Yeah. Listen, I believe water on Mars is life on Mars. Okay? That's the way I look at it. And people can say, well, that's crazy. Well, how's it not? How's it not a living thing?
My point is, does that become a tree when it bears fruit? Is it a growing, living tree before it bears fruit?
It's such a good point. I love Bill Burr. Let me say this. Go find the Bill Burr clip, Ralph. You'll love this one. Bill Burr, a recent comedy bit that he did where he talks about the argument about, abortion, whether or not it's a baby or not. And the analogy he uses is, I look at it this way. I put a cake in the oven. Right? I do all the mixing and whatnot, and I put a cake in the oven, and you walk in and you grab the cake and you pull it out of the oven and you toss it onto the floor. And I'm like, hey, what did you do? You threw my cake on the ground. And the guy says, it wasn't a cake yet. And Bill Burr says, yeah, it's not a cake yet, but you stopped the process of making it a cake by pulling it out and throwing it.
And the second thing, Reese, what I'd like to see happen, and you talk about some of these big cities in the States where if a police officer makes a mistake or something wrong, he can be sued. Well, I've got a great idea. How about we do the same thing with politicians, Reese? If they screw up and they make a wrong decision or something, we can sue the politicians. We can sue the party.
We should be able to do that.
Right. Let's level the playing field for these. And I'll be very honest with you. I think most politicians you look at today they're very low life forms. I'm sorry, because they can't tell the truth. They can't be honest. When we get a politician in there who can tell the truth to American people, be honest and say, yeah, I screwed up. This is the guy that I'm going to support.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. Thank you, Ralph. Let's go to George in St. Louis. Hey, George. I'm sorry, buddy. We haven't caught up in a while. How are you, sir?
Hi, Reese. Let me make a point.
Yeah.
WTIC relies on advertising dollars, right, to pay the checks, pay
Sure.
the revenues,
Yeah.
pay the electric bill. Then why are socialist left-wing stations, media, why are they supporting a socialist, communist, party like the Democrats? Because their revenues dry up under a socialist, communist system.
Oh, and
has that hit?
But you know what? That's such a good point, George. Here's the point about that. Look, what is if you watched the Washington Post last year, if you saw their inner office meetings that many people were recording when they were layoffs that were coming to the Washington Post staffers, they failed to realize while they were screaming and hollering at the brass at the front office of the Washington Post, what they failed to acknowledge, it was what they were doing as an organization that was causing the advertising dollars to dry up. It became too expensive.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah, it became too expensive to sustain itself.
As long as they're backing communist socialist regimes like the Democrats, their future is dead. They have no future.
George, isn't it safe to say? Isn't it safe to say that if you think about it, with the analogy you just gave, the example that you just gave, And I just brought up with the Washington Post. And by the way, we've seen that across the board in several media outlets, newspaper, print, and on television, and online, sorry. And you've seen all these companies that are laying off hundreds of employees. Why? Because the product sucks. It leans one way. It isn't honest. Advertisers won't spend big dollars to advertise on something that's failing. And people are being fired. So instead of changing the model so they can actually retain some form of revenue, it continues down the same path, which lends to me to ask, is there a mental illness problem inside these organizations or in liberalism itself? That they would...
Well, if you get this word out, they're going to stop supporting Democrats. They will stop supporting Kamala. It is over once the left-wing media realize they have no future under socialism. That's the word that has to get out.
And I think that's it's sort of like in the beginning, you sort of think that that's the case until you realize you can't feed yourself, you can't house yourself, and then you start to self-reflect. You go through the stages of grief, and then you start to realize that it's your own fault, that you didn't do the work that you were supposed to do. Remember Barry Weiss from the New York Times? Have you seen?
It goes with shooting yourself in the foot. They're shooting themselves in the foot, and they haven't realized it yet.
Barry Weiss from the New York Times, who now has her own show and her own gig, she was one of those people who realized that everything that was happening at the New York Times was absolutely it was the self-fulfilling prophecy that they were going to destroy. Their own doing. Thank you, George. Hey, George, do me a favor. I'm doing some research on the Connecticut Green Bank. You interested?
You already gone.
George, if you're listening, look that up for me. Let's go to Dan in East Windsor. Hello, Dan. Dan, you there? Okay, Dan.
Yeah, I didn't call you on the air though. I thought I was going to get the producer. I just wanted to ask a question.
Oh, you didn't want to go on the air?
No, I didn't even. I thought I was going to get the producer. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, you're here. Did you want to opine about something, or did you want to find out something from the producer?
No, I just wanted to find out something from the producer.
No problem. We'll put you back on hold. I appreciate you.
All right,
okay, Dan from East Windsor wants to get some information from you, Roland. Speaking of Roland, I've got an idea. And when we get back, I want to propose it. Roland might not want to do it. But I think that, and I thought about this today, I want to do something cool with the listeners. I don't know if it's going to be a contest. I don't know if it's going to be a raffle. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I have an idea that I want to try. When we come back from the break, I'll spitball what I'm thinking of. And it's a hobby that I like to do, but I want to see if I could actually help you doing something that I love in Connecticut. So when we get back from the break, I'll explain it to you. They'll probably say it's a bad idea. How the heck are we going to pull that off, Reese? I've got some ideas on how to pull it off, but stay tuned. When we get back, I've got an idea, and I think that you guys will probably enjoy it. And you might be interested in it. All right, so we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and more of your phone calls. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
It's time to clear the shelters. Since we started 10 years ago, NBC, Telemundo, and you have helped over 1 million pets find their forever families.
What madness you trying to accomplish?
I can't tell them yet.
New best friend?
They're listening. They're listening online.
Adopt. Your donations can go a long way. Adopt or donate today. For more information, head to nbcconnecticut.com/cleartheshelters. Brought to you in part by WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, Tom.
Thank you, Mary.
Opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss.
Neil
Dropping
the ass
20 pounds
Tyson.
Before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off.
No, not
fast
bowling.
with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that
Although that would be cool.
Propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're
Roland,
about to
would you
slide
do a
back into the
station
same
thing
old
of bowling?
fall routine with the same old mindset.
Like
Would I do what?
bowling with
Sit up,
Reese and
live up
Roland.
the rest of your summer.
Oh.
Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You know, pain from arthritis is awful. Bone on bone, constant pain. It can rob you of so much of the stuff you love to do, but there are
I like
effective
what you.
ways
I
to
like
deal with
that, Mike.
pain, and I'm not-
You got the recent roast segment.
They're
Say again, the
exciting
recent
new
what?
therapy
The recent roast segment.
relief,
Yeah,
and the place
they-
to go is QC
No, this
Kinetics.
one-
They use cutting-edge
this one's gonna
treatments that
take,
accelerate your
it's gonna
own
actually take
body's
some
healing
travel.
properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain, whether it's from arthritis or injury, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only options. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative
What was Dan
medicine
calling
to
about?
treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your
Oh, I don't know.
long-term
You didn't take
relief
his
with no
call?
downtime.
No, I haven't answered them yet.
Oh, okay.
Millions of people happier. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics, they're ready to help you with this regenerative restore.
I'm sure it's about Todd, though, because that's all people been calling about.
Yeah, I figured as
Consultations
much.
free. Check them out. 860-440-PAIN. Again, it's 860-440-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. They're in Avon, New Haven, and
How do you not know what's going on, bro?
That's easy.
Government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1932 $10 gold Indian
1 minute.
found. These gorgeous 1932 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1932 dated gold coin featuring Lady Liberty with an Indian war headdress and a majestic eagle. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 92 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-520-6468. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus over a $55
and 10.
Every order. Call 1-800-520-6468 now to secure your 1932 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I figured we'd play some Arctic Monkeys on the show today. I do listen to hip hop, but I there's a lot of rock bands I listen to, and Arctic Monkeys is one of my favorites. Those last two albums were garbage, though, but the earlier stuff I love it. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's take Lewis first before I venture this little idea. So I don't want to keep Lewis on the line. Lewis, what's going on? You are Reese on the Radio. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Reese?
Pleasure, man.
So I was calling in regards to when life begins according to science.
Like I said, you can ask any scientist. I don't think that there's one universal response to that. If everyone asks, I think that what's an organism?
Yeah. So living things are basically self-replicating chemical structures. Okay?
Right.
So water's not alive because it doesn't make more of itself on its own by extracting resources from the environment. So with eukaryotic organisms, things with a nucleus and mitochondria and all that, the ones that reproduce sexually, they're gametes, basically sperm and egg. And those gametes, once the sperm meets the egg and fertilizes it, if all goes according to plan, starts dividing, you no longer have two gametes. You have a new individual organism. So that's conception. That's when life begins. It's not a matter of belief in a preset doctrine. It's what I believe to be physically true.
Okay.
You do what you want with that information, but you are killing an individual human when you kill a fertilized
And I think you make a good point, Lewis, in the sense of, I heard someone could say, you get it from the abortion advocates who say, it's a fetus or it's a glob of goo, whatever that. And my response to them is, so were you. Like you started the same way, right? It's not, you're describing something as if you were not the gob of goo, right? That was you as well. So I defeat that argument every time they say it, and they're just going, it's a silly argument. But yeah, you're 100% right. I don't know. What can you say? What can you say?
Well,
but I appreciate.
If you have
I'm
room
sorry.
for one more thing. So then there's people who go so far as to say even if the life of the mother is in jeopardy,
right,
don't allow abortions. But in that case, it's self-defense. It doesn't matter if your assailant understands what they're doing. If they're going to kill you and using deadly force against you, you have the right, although not necessarily the obligation, to end its life.
Right.
To use deadly force back.
Understood. I appreciate you, Lewis. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, so here's the idea, and I've only got 30 seconds before I can. So here's my idea, Roland. I was thinking, since I DJ a lot, I think we still got Lewis on. I DJ a lot, and I really, really love doing it. And I kind of do it as a gift. No one has ever paid me to DJ, and I really love doing it. So I was thinking, perhaps you and I, Reese and Roland, go out and we'll hold like a raffle to get, some people to try to win the opportunity to have a party hosted by you and I, Reese and Roland, on the road at some events. We do a bar mitzvah, wedding, no christening. Those things get wild. So, something like that where you and I can sort of hang out and, do the little wiki thing, for somebody's engagement. What do you think? No? I guess not. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, you'd be down for something like that, wouldn't you?
Sure, if I was available, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like hanging out, throwing a little shindig for somebody who win it as a prize, Couple of hours.
I started DJing in December of 1982.
See, I knew you were a DJ.
Man, that's when I was born, damn.
I've been doing weddings since 1985.
Okay, all right, so you understand it. So it's something that, somebody could, sort of win as a prize. You show up, yep. We do a little wiggy, with all that stuff. Everybody does the chicken dance and you go home.
You mean jam on it, nucleus, wiki?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
On it.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm doing a wedding this Saturday.
See? You see those in right now in the fall, it's perfect to do something like that.
Yes, it is. I agree. Weather's starting to turn and get a little bit cooler.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice for the folks getting married now. Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, I didn't host so many weddings and
let you know about.
That's all I did. I literally just did my sister-in-law's.
Did you?
We'll go again.
Yeah.
By exit 24, we have an accident.
Had the party rocking, man. That's what I do.
I'm telling you, I have so much fun doing it.
24. I'm sorry, just prior to exit 22, and the right lane's blocked there. So once again, delays back.
That's got to be a
Delays again from 20 in Middletown.
There's got to be
19 and 18 in Meriden. The right and center.
You know what?
So you want to stay.
I'm gonna come back to you because I know exactly what it's got to be.
Downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Boat Bridge into the tunnel. If you're on the westbound side of 84, look out for an accident on the Plainville Southington line between 33 and 32. The left lane's blocked there. Delays back to exit 37 in Farmington. Behind that, 2 eastbounds okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 291 through 84 looking good east of the river. Quiet Middletown, 9 in the Aragodi Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by exit 18. And 95 southbound, you've got delays in New Haven Q Bridge down to exit 44. Southbound 91 slowing 3 in toward the 95 interchange. And 95 northbound, you've got some slow traffic as you move between 59 and 58 as you move down into Orange. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC.
Michael, Arctic Monkeys. Michael B., I want you to go look up the first couple of albums of the Arctic Monkeys. You'll like them.
Skies will keep the partial sunshine cooler than it's been. Low 70s for the balance of the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, low in the mid-50s. and then another mixed bag.
If you want to do something like that, what you're going to need is a sponsor.
Yep, I already know. I already know.
So it could be Reese and Row, whatever, sponsored by whoever.
Weekend.
So that way they could pay for everything, so the people don't have to pay for anything.
Exactly.
President Biden and
So that's what that would be the main thing. Then we gotta write it up right, make sure it's
All
feasible.
legal. Yeah, we gotta go legal. Yeah.
And then once we do all that, you could run with it. Then
declaration.
you got to get the drops and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Assistance
absolutely.
From the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to help provide support for the myriad bridges, dams, and other infrastructure.
I mean, I
that
like
was
Brian's idea of like
damaged or
going to like
destroyed.
different doing live
People
spots
died
and
in
stuff like
separate
that. But
incidents in August.
Yeah.
this
They
is
were
like,
swept away
kind of an
Sunday
event. They get
by
to,
the
hang out.
raging
They're going to talk
flood.
about,
Connecticut's insurance
radio
department
and
is
everything,
advising
sort of
residents
like,
impacted by the flooding last
we don't
weekend
steal anybody's
to know what's
thunder.
covered and what may not be when it comes to their policies. Generally, storm-related damage is not covered.
It'd be like a meet us at the mall type thing.
Yeah.
See, that's where flood insurance comes in, says Deputy Commissioner Gerard O'Sullivan. Comprehensive coverage may help if a vehicle has sustained damage from the storm. And on another front, he says residents should take care if they come into contact.
Well, you know what? It could be the pop up with Reese and Row. You never know where they're gonna pop up next.
Contain hazardous
That was good.
elements, debris.
A good idea, but
So people
just something along those lines.
Questions can contact the department at 860-297-3900 or at insurance@ct.gov. The department's website is portal.ct.gov/CID. And if you see a sign that a road is closed and you shouldn't travel through it, best to heed that advice. In the town of Woodbury, the town is saying shame on you to whomever drove over a cone and a pile of dirt that was blocking a portion of Transylvania Road that had washed out. The town's fire chief, Janet Morgan, says she realizes there are frustrations but cannot stress safety enough.
Trust me, it's closed for a reason, and your responders and DPW and emergency management directors, they will get out there, assess the road, and get it opened as soon as possible. But if you come across a road closed, it's closed for a reason. Respect the road closure.
In Plymouth, police received a call this afternoon, they say, about a possible drowning in the Terryville section of town. Right now, investigators haven't said specifically if that's in fact the case. They do say around noon they were dispatched to Magnolia Lane. That's where they found a male child victim who was rushed to Bristol Hospital for treatment. Police say the investigation is active and ongoing, and no other details were released. In Gaza, 6 more hostages have been recovered.
The army said they recovered the bodies in an overnight operation in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he is determined to bring all of the hostages home, whether they are alive or dead.
CBS's Linda Gradstein in Jerusalem. Democrats are gearing up for night 2 of their convention in Chicago. Reporter Doug Sovereign is covering.
It's former President Barack Obama's turn in the spotlight on the convention's second night. California Congresswoman Barbara Lee, one of Obama's earliest endorsers back in 2007, expects him to deliver eloquent support for Kamala Harris.
It'll be good to see him, first of all, and to hear him, but I think he's a unifier, as you know, and I think he's going to talk about party unity and how we move forward.
There'll be a ceremonial roll call complete with walk-up music for each state, although Harris and Tim Walz were already officially nominated prior to this convention. Doug Sovereign for CBS News, Chicago.
Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow down 61 points, NASDAQ down 59, S&P down 11 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Rosetta Stone is the expert in language learning for more than 30 years. Right now, listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership of 25 languages for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to purchase and learn for life.
Okay, raise your...
1 minute.
Life's a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America,
Michael B., I'm not messing
you get
with you
access
today.
to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move
And 10 to come right in.
and
You got it.
globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America NA.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We got the 5 o'clock focus showing up in about 30 minutes, or at least I'll be teasing it in about 30 minutes. But I wanted to say this lastly before we take the break. I wanted to sort of wrap up with the Barack Obama story, that because I heard at the top of the hour they're talking about it, and it is the big news tonight, second night of the Democratic National Convention. He'll be giving that speech. The reason why, in my head, I kind of feel like you put him on Tuesday night just after Joe Biden's debacle. This is going to sound harsh. I don't mean it to sound harsh, but I had to use an analogy to some degree. Barack Obama is like Blu-ray, the Blu-ray disc. Remember that? Remember how big of a deal it was? Everyone had to get the Blu-ray disc of the new movie. Get it on Blu-ray. It's epic. It's clear. Now everybody streams. Barack Obama's Blu-ray. He's not really public, even to the African-American community. He's that idolatry that was him, that deifying of Barack Obama, it's over. He was president. Now he's just a regular guy. He's former president. You know, it's like getting a new pair of Jordans in 1995, and you still have them in their crisp. You don't wear them, but you got to point to them and you go, yeah, those are my Jordans right there. I bought those in 1995. Crisp. Haven't worn them one day. Are they good for anything? No, just there, just hanging on the wall. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark Christopher, he's got a lot of those things that are just hanging on the wall. They used to be really hot when you got them, and then now they're just there. Right, Mark?
That's correct. There's a lot of stuff I have that's that my wife would love me to part ways with. But
So is there an action figure in any of that?
No, thank goodness.
Nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
No action figure.
Okay. I didn't want to geek out on you or anything like that. I didn't want to be fine like I've got a He-Man from 1985.
Do you really?
No, I meant you. I was worried about you.
No action figures. No action.
No. Okay, no problem. I do have a Millennium Falcon.
But stuff I have is like large. It's like big items. Just
like garage type stuff.
Yeah, I collected traffic lights.
Well, that I
Real
know.
traffic lights.
That I know. You don't have like a DeLorean in the garage or something.
No. I do have a Toro commercial mower. That's about it as far as big toys.
Okay.
That's about it. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, you're on the southbound side of I-91. We're looking at some slow traffic in Hartford, 33 down to 32 A and B. And then we have an accident southbound 91 down by exit 22. And the right lane is blocked down there. So you got delays back to exit 24 for the Silas Dean Highway behind that. Also, another accident, 91 southbound in Meriden between 19 and 18. The right and center lanes blocked. Stay left. Delays are back to exit 20. The exit for Country Club Road. Now, northbound 91, a little bit tight getting by exit 18 in Meriden. I'm sure rubbernecking at that southbound crash. After that, you get a good ride Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing in East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge into the tunnel. 84 westbound, we have an accident between exit 33 and 32. That's in the left lane on the Plainville. Southington line delays back to exit 37, Finnerman Road behind that. 291 through 84 okays. The River 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound tight in Newtown by 11. 95 southbound delays from the Q Bridge down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, it's certainly been a cooler day, and as we head through the evening and overnight, partly cloudy, breezy, and quite cool. The low down to 55 degrees tonight with a busy west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained overnight. For Wednesday, clouds and sun, a shower in spots in the afternoon. Still quite cool for late August, the high of 71. Thursday, pleasant day, though. Sun and some clouds, the high moving up to 74. Warmer still as we head toward the end of the week on Friday. Partly sunny, the high of 80. Beautiful weekend ahead for late summer. Partly sunny on Saturday, the high of 85. And Sunday, mostly sunny and very warm, the high moving up to 87. So great stretch of weather coming up right now. New Haven and Bridgeport both at 72. Waterbury 64 and Hartford at 69. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 people don't even love their birthday. Yeah, their own birthday. The one occasion where eating cake at any time of day is not only accepted, it's actively encouraged. Wait, does that mean people like us more than cake? Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 of our customers would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AA created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or
in 10.
CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. It's Reese on the Radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let me tell you something, folks. I don't care what it is that the people say, the pundits, the news media. I've watched these things for too many years, and I will be as honest as I possibly can about this. I used to fall for the okie doke. When the news media was hyping something, I believed it to be true, and in some ways, I almost felt like it was having an emotional effect on me. The only way I can describe it is you'd start seeing a bunch of news reports from people whom, if you're not well aware of the individual, you kind of trust. It was like, that David Muir, he seems like a reasonable guy. You'll watch his newscast and you go, no, it's David Muir. Or you're watching Lester Holt. And this is, again, my early life. Not Lester Holt. What bone does he have to pick with any particular party? Seems like a straight news guy. I was that guy. Scott Paley on CBS. He's got that deep voice. I am Scott Paley. And they just seem so authoritative. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And I got a little older. And I will attribute it to being a cynic, as many of us do when we get older. We all become a little cynical. We question everything. We're suspicious of everything. And I think, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, but I'm definitely going to talk about it right now. The news media is threatened and has been threatened since 1996. 1996, 1997, 1998. Alternative media was the thing that hurt mainstream news, mainstream information. They hated it because people could find out things for themselves. They were not the gatekeepers of what is or what isn't the truth. They had to now fight to convince the audience that this was true. What made it worse, there was a time when they were competing with those individuals who were the alternative media with making sure they got the truth out first. And then something happened. And I think the trustworthiness of the news, because it was either slow or it failed to cover certain things, it really affected the news media in a way where instead of fixing it, they went to war with it. And I've heard Rush Limbaugh talk about this at length, and you all remember when it happened. Dan Rather was the point. That was the pivotal point where alternative media changed news. When Dan Rather got outed by a blogger that realized that the font in the letter, that 60 Minutes to a Wednesday program that they had put together to, because 60 Minutes was such a powerhouse news magazine that they were going to make a second episode of it on Wednesdays. It's 60 Minutes. And they put this letter out for everyone to see, and a blogger. To then, a blogger was like, was like a guy living under the stairs, like a guy living under a bridge. He was some guy in his mom's basement. But that blogger, once he revealed that the font on the letter didn't exist at the time the letter was written, it was over. It was like it's a David and Goliath moment. And then Tom Brokaw and Peter Jennings, they all get together and they try to celebrate Dan Rather after he had been embarrassed. He tried anything and everything to save his reputation, and it was a wrap. That the man who took the reins from Walter Cronkite at the Tiffany Network had to come up on television and apologize and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It killed network television. People became skeptics. Alternative media was the way to go. That's when it happened. So when I watched this thing on the news media, and again, they chose which way they would go. They could have decided to be more truthful or go wackadoodle. They chose wackadoodle. And to hear these people talk about this Democratic National Convention as it's filled with joy, as if to suggest that inside the halls of this convention in Chicago it represents the entire country or even their base, is insane. And people who are watching it on television who are saying to their friends and neighbors, oh, we're unified now. Oh, we're excited now. No, you're not. You're definitely not united. Let me explain. First, I want to play this clip. Let's play this one. This is a Fox News reporter. I forget his name, but you know him. You probably heard the clip already. It's been everywhere. But he's out in Chicago talking to anti-Israel, pro-Hamas, and pro-Palestinian protesters. And he got this soundbite.
Every Palestinian support Hamas, not just me. Every Palestinian support Hamas.
Do you support October 7th?
Who?
October 7th.
October 7th? Yes, I do. What's wrong with October 7th? You tell me.
Women and children.
What?
The murder.
What is this?
The guy's a Democrat. You know he is. Don't say he's a Republican. Don't say he's a right-winger. The guy's a Democrat. You know he is. Before this happened, this guy was always a Democrat. Those young people, they're all Democrats. They come from the college ranks. You know they're all leftists. You know they're all liberals. There are tens of thousands of them, if not hundreds of thousands of them, who support Hamas and do not support the Democrat Party. They may not vote for Donald Trump, which I'm certain they won't. But that is a key demographic in the Democrat Party. So the reason why everybody's running around saying, there's joy in the party, because they don't want you to see this, the nasty underbelly of the Democrat Party. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see the nasty underbelly of the 2012 Democratic National Convention, where they booed and shouted down Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. That's where we are now. That's progression for you. And I'll say one more. This one's the one that's crazy. Does everybody remember that when all of these protests started at the college campuses, you saw an overwhelming support from the African-American community? young black kids, predominantly black females, were out in droves wearing the little, Hamas scarves, walking around screaming, free, free Palestine. They were all there. And then something happened a month ago. Kamala Harris became the nominee. And a lot of these pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas black girls left the protest to support Kamala Harris. And the pro-Palestinian Hamas wing went, hey, where are you guys going? And they were like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, your cause is important, but we got a black woman running for president. We pay a lot of attention to identity politics. And if we don't support her, we'll be ostracized by Steve Harvey. So they left them. And now there's an online war between the black community and the pro-Hamas community. Oh, you should see it. It's everywhere. And it's amazing. There is no joy. It's all a joke. All of it. Let's go to Tom in Canton. Hello, Tom. You're on Reese On Radio. How are you, sir?
Nope. I readjust this.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Tom. Oh, okay. Then let me go to Patty. Hey, Patty. I haven't talked to you in a while. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Reese. Nice to talk to you. I was listening. This goes back to the last half hour. The gentleman who had called earlier about
abortion,
the cells. Yes, I have the name for him that he's looking for. I remember it from school, believe it or not. It's called a blastocyte. It's formed from a cluster of cells from a fertilized egg about 5 days after conception. That's how early the cells are already there.
Wow.
From there, it later on goes to an embryo and a fetus, and you can follow the signs on it. The first sign is actually already a fertilized egg of the mother cells and the father cells 5 days after conception. It's called a blastocyst.
Thank you. I totally
And then the
appreciate
other
it.
thing I wanted to tell you, in case this comes up in conversation, it usually does for abortion, is viability. Viability is about 25, 26 weeks. So just to put those two criteria out there, because I know
You
they
said,
talk about
I'm sorry, you
late-term
said
abortion.
viability 25 to 26 weeks, right?
That's right.
In other words,
That's right.
for preemies.
I'm sorry, sir?
Preemies?
No, viability means, can live outside the mother.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. Yes, exactly. So in other words, you can have a premature birth.
Anything before 36 weeks is preemie. Anything born before 36 weeks.
That's
So
what I meant. Yes,
the
that's what I'm saying.
viability is 25 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Actually, somebody that I worked with, her baby was born at 28 weeks.
Wow.
The child lived too. Yeah, so, it's just going on life. If you're just going in cycles to see the child, the blastocyst, and it's spelled just like it sounds.
Okay.
Blastocyst.
No, I liked it. I like the word, so I'm going to
the next
definitely
one-
remember it.
Yep, and then the next one is an embryo, the next one is a fetus, but viability is 25, 26 weeks. That's why sometimes people go with viability and they make it, later in rather than the first 12 weeks or that kind of thing, because it's when the child can live. But, if the child's growing, it's alive.
That's right. Exactly. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Patty. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. All right, let's go. Mike is in Plainville. Hello, Mike.
Mike's gone. You got David and Joe.
Okay, so David's. I apologize. Maybe I'm reading this badly. I'm totally screwed this up. Is David calling from San? Oh, that's KB. Hello, KB. What's going on?
No. I'm David. Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised you knew who I was. I didn't go through a screener. How are you?
Pretty good. What's up?
Well, I heard you talking about joy, and whether it's the Democratic convention or people who are simply damn tired of Trump.
Okay.
We the people own this country, and the people that we hire for 4 years are supposed to work for us.
Agreed.
We're not supposed to work for them.
Agreed.
And Donald Trump is a person who is demanding obedience. And he's basically a slumlord.
How?
If you
How's
look at
how's he
his-
demanding obedience? By whom?
Oh, well,
Well, sir,
look
it's
at-
your
look at
statement, so
his-
I'm sure you can back it up. Whom is he demanding obedience from? You and I, or the people who work for him?
Well, let's say J.D. Vance. How many quotes can you find of J.D. Vance talking about him as a con man, as a grifter, as a person?
You don't
who
believe that
can't
you
be
don't believe that
respected?
you don't believe that Donald Trump should demand obedience as you use it, because I know you're using it like a reference to a master and his dog. I know. I'll use
Yes, I
I'll
am.
use
I am
I'll use your
using
frame
that
of reference. I would use it as if I'm going to choose you as my vice president, then I want you to be, in essence, in lockstep with me because I have agenda to fulfill as the president. You are, in essence, my understudy, and whatever my agenda is, you are to co-sign that. That's the same role that Kamala Harris has with Joe Biden. Is that not the case? You can call it obedience if you want.
Say so because
Is she? Oh, how about this one? How about this one? If Kamala Harris,
public service.
okay, no, that's fine. Let's use Kamala Harris and Joe Biden under the same situation. If Kamala Harris were to say to her boss, I don't believe in that agenda, we need to go this route, would you consider that insubordination, or would you just hashing it out?
I would say that's supposed to be hashing it out.
But is
The
that
name
her
of the
role?
game is that we, the people, own the country, and we hire someone. The election is based upon that we, the people, are supposed to have a property.
You and I are in agreement there, but you're bringing it off to the Cy Vance, to the JD Vance Donald Trump dynamic. I want to stay there because that's what you're using as your reference. Again,
I mean, I could come up with 20.
No. Let's stick with what you coming up with 20.
Lindsey Graham.
Listen,
you know, how many people have been quoted saying that Donald Trump is criminal, Donald Trump is corrupt. And
okay, I mean, no offense, but I could listen.
Kowtowing totally.
David, I could
ass.
call you a dog murderer. It doesn't matter what I say. The facts are the facts. So what Lindsey Graham has said bad things about Donald Trump. What does that mean? It means that because Lindsey Graham said it, now all of a sudden, if I'm supposed to get you right, a Republican said something bad about Donald Trump, so now it has credence? So if it was anybody else,
let's talk about death threats.
No. I don't want you. You're all over the place, but I will do this. I'll hold you over because I really want to get into this conversation with you because I don't think that you're going to stay in one place, but I'm going to see if we can, so we can get to the crux of why you're here, right? I'll take every one of your grievance early. I promise. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now on the southbound side of 91, you got delays 33 to 32. Again, more slow traffic approaching 24. Between 23 and 22, we have an accident, and that is sitting in the right lane. So use caution going through there right now. If you are traveling on the northbound side of I-91, get a good ride Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Traveling 91 southbound into Meriden, we're still working with an accident, 91 southbound, and that is between exit 19 and 18. Looks like they've got everything tucked in on the right shoulder now, but look for delays approaching exit 20 Country Club Road behind that. Now, on the northbound side of 91, that's a little tight getting by exit 18, rubbernecking at that problem. After that, you've got a good ride Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkey Bridge in East Hartford out to 47 Cerveny Street. 84 eastbound delays 48 Capitol Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 a little slow as you move between exit 36 and 33 as you move it Farmington into Plainville. If you are traveling into Waterbury, 84 eastbound slowing by exit 18. 84 eastbound in Newtown slows 10 to 11. 95 southbound New Haven tied up 48 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Partly sunny, breezy, and cooler today. The high of 71. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy, but quite comfortable. The low down to 55. Boy, that west-northwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained overnight. Then for Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, a shower in spots in the afternoon. The high of 71. Thursday, pleasant with sun and some clouds, a little milder. The high moving up to 74. And Friday, partly sunny and warmer. The high of 80. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. The arduous cleanup continues from the devastation historic flooding wrought on parts of the state over the weekend. Governor Lamont has requested federal assistance for Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. The state insurance department is available to assist regarding claim-related questions. Officials say homeowners should review their policies to see what's covered and what may not be. The department can be reached at 860-297-3900 or at insurance@ct.gov. Child's in the hospital after police.
Thank you, Q1. Hi, Cammie.
Received a call about a possible drowning. They were dispatched to Magnolia Lane in the Terryville section around noon today. Police haven't said definitively if the child drowned or not. The investigation is ongoing. Standoff involving a man who barricaded himself in a home on Cloudland Road in North Haven came to an end this morning. The incident unfolded around 8:45 last night. Shots were reported fired in or near the home, but no injuries were reported. Day 2 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Among those expected to speak, former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff will also make the case for his wife for president tonight. Special Commission has concluded that the Army Reserve and local police missed opportunities to intervene and potentially stop the deadliest shootings in Maine history. That independent commission released its final report today on the shootings by an Army reservist who killed 18 people at a bowling alley and a bar in Lewiston, October 25th, 2023. Wall Street markets down today, this Tuesday. The Dow was off 61, NASDAQ lost 59, and the S&P was down 11 points. Baseball on the radio tonight. It's the Red Sox and Houston. 7:10 is the pregame here. Yanks open a series at the stadium against Cleveland. The Mets are home to Baltimore. Eastern League, they're finishing up a suspended game. The Fisher Cats and the Yard Goats out at Duncan Park, and then they'll play the regularly scheduled game tonight, 6:30 on the app. And in the WNBA, it's the Connecticut Sun at LA. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Brought to you by Macy's. Brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love. Shop Macy's and make the first day back the best one yet. Check out Macy's.com/back-to-school today.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
From inflation to worker shortages, America's small businesses are met with challenge after challenge. Now, a massive tax increase on small businesses is right around the corner. This will impact 9 out of 10 small businesses and lead to job losses, reduced wages, and an economic slowdown.
All right, I'm back, ready to go when you are.
Visit smallbusinessdeduction.com and tell Congress to stop the small business.
It's nice to have a San Francisco
Paid for
conversation.
by the National Federation of Independent Business.
Getting quality employees to fill.
You got 1 minute and you're going to come straight in?
Finding those people can be a major
You still got Dave and Joe.
Use
Okay,
ZipRecruiter.
keep them, but I'm
ZipRecruiter
taking
makes
Dave.
finding quality people
I
a breeze. And
don't have
right
enough
now, you
time
can
for
try
David.
it for
Just
free
keep them
at
on ice until I get to the next break.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, cool.
ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively
This commercial
invites
always
them
makes
to
me
apply
bob.
for your job. And the results speak for
You don't like it?
No, I
Oh, you
I
like the
always bob
beat.
my I always bob my head to
quality
it.
candidate within the first day.
Yeah, there's a couple commercials like that.
Yeah.
I have my stick, so I'll be beating on shit.
And let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience
And
efficiency and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Yes, I did repeat it after he already said it. We'll get back to Dave in San Francisco in a minute, but I want to do like Regis Philbin. I want to throw Dave a lifeline, okay? You were about to walk into the Trump derangement labyrinth with this conversation. For those of you who are not familiar with a labyrinth, it's a maze. And the labyrinth, the Trump derangement labyrinth, as it is, people start walking into it and start making their arguments about this way and that way, and they keep crashing into walls. Nope, can't go that way, got to go this way. They walk that, oh, there's no exit there, got to go this way. They keep changing. It's not changing the goalposts. It's banging into walls instead of getting directly what the point is. The point is never there. There's no exits. There's only the way you came in. Right? Because there is no feasible arguments. When you walk into a wall, you have to go back and you immediately want to change it into something else. So stay focused. If you really believe, if you have conviction in what you believe, if J.D. Vance, right, is a lapdog to Donald Trump, state that case and explain why. And then explain to me why that isn't the case for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And right now we're having a conversation, as we did earlier, about how Kamala Harris is trying to separate herself from the president of the United States while she's trying to run her own campaign. Something that's going to be extremely odd. And what would Donald Trump need as a vice president? Someone who is going to co-sign his policies, not someone who's going to do what he feels is right behind his back. They didn't elect him. J.D. Vance, I'm talking about. If they elect Donald Trump, the person who is working with you, your vice president, is to do your bidding. That's your right-hand man or woman. So therefore, you may deem that as being some sort of sycophant or whatever derogatory term you wish to use, but the facts remain. That's my Robin. I'm Batman. That's Robin. Do you understand that? Robin's not going to sit up there and go, you know what, Batman? I've figured it out. Do you understand why you're Robin? Because I'm Batman. Okay? If that's the case, you be Batman. That's all I'm trying to say. But we'll get to David in San Francisco. I hope that helped a little bit. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. What's that, Mark?
Popped up.
I think Mark is somewhere else.
He's in.
Mark, can you hear me? Okay, maybe he's not ready yet.
He's supposed to be.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into
scared the hell out of me.
On side of I-9130.
He does like a traffic for everybody, but
Right.
he also does like a little segment where he gives his 2 cents. So sometimes he get caught.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Overlapping.
Right.
Meriden. And this is 91 southbound between 19 and 18 on the right shoulder, and you got delays back to exit 20 Country Club Road behind that. Northbound side of the Parkway, a little slow from 67W up to 68 N and E, so a little tight traffic there. 91 northbound moving well, Cromwell up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slowing 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 okay, so the river 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound you'll see slow traffic in Newtown 9 up to exit 11. Southbound 95 slowing from the area of exit 48 in New Haven down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, for tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, quite cool. The low down to 55 and a busy west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained through the overnight. A little taste of later September here as we head through the middle of the week. Mix of clouds and sunshine, a shower in spots in the afternoon, the high of 71. Going to feel cool with a west-northwest breeze throughout the day. Thursday, it starts to get a little milder, pleasant day with sun and some clouds, the high of 74. Beautiful day on Friday to round out the week. Partly sunny, the high of 80. And then quite warm over the weekend, a beautiful late summer weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we'll have partly sunny skies Saturday, the high of 85. Mostly sunny Sunday, quite warm, the high up to 87. Right now, nowhere near that, and in New Haven, it's 72. It's 64 in Waterbury, and it's 70 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com.
It's great to have neighbors you can count on. For more than 45 years, you've been able to count on the law firm of Brown, Painderis & Scott for professional legal counsel, from family law and business to property disputes and personal injury claims. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and are your neighbors. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Payne Dearest is responsible for the content of this ad.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If
Hold on a minute.
here, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder
go.
of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
You heard her. You're the president. It's NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Back to the phones we go. Let's continue our conversation with David out in San Francisco, all the way on the West Coast. David, I get that you don't like Donald Trump, but I want you to stay focused. I know you don't like them, and I know that you believe that they serve us. But in my view, which is obviously opposite of yours, Donald Trump doesn't have to be president of the United States, never should have taken the job because he was living what can only be described as a charmed life. When he was president of the United States, he didn't even take a salary. And his objective was to do things for the working man and the American people. Was he perfect? Of course not. Did he screw up? Did he get into arguments and fights and do things that were probably uncouth in a lot of ways? Absolutely. But you know what? I don't care that my president doesn't act like my pen pal or my boyfriend. What I care about is whether or not he gets the job done. And that's his job, just to do the job that serves my interest, represents me. And that's it. All of this other stuff, the character assassinations, if that's what it is that's important to you, I can go through a litany of people in the office who have been in the office who have done things far worse. Need I get into Kennedy? Need I get into Bill Clinton? I can get into a slew of people who have acted and behaved at the White House in ways that would make your toes curl. So what exactly is your beef?
Well, to get back to your labyrinth analogy,
yes.
The joy of the Democrats, it's that they don't have a lion con artist that is managing our property.
You mean Joe Biden?
Own this country. That we the people own this country.
You mean Joe Biden?
Con artist with 40,000 lies. 40,000 lies. Each one of those lies.
Don't tell me that
America at least $1 billion.
David, are you really talking like David? Hold on.
Per lie.
David, let me stop you for a second. Your problem is lying. How many lies is enough for you to be okay with it? If Donald Trump has 40,000 lies, what's your cap on lies? Can a guy tell 10 lies? Can he tell 20? How about if Donald Trump has 40,000 of them, can Joe Biden have what? 20,000? How many lies is okay for you? If you got a problem with lying,
you got?
Whoa.
Is that the best?
No. You have to. No. You brought up lies. I'm asking you. Listen, if you set the criteria, sir, if you're the one who is setting up the rules of the game, right? Let's say it's your board game. Let's call it David's board game. If you set up, David, let me finish. David, let me finish. If you set up the rules to the board game, and then I come back at you with the rules and I say, okay, lying is a fault in this game. So how many lies are allowed in a game? If Donald Trump is the measure, right? If he's going to be the litmus test, how many lies is enough? Because you're going to sit up here and tell me that lies are your problem. That means that you're okay with some lies, just not from Trump. Is that what you're telling me?
Zero lies.
Then don't give me any crap about lies, because Joe Biden, he's off the radar. And Kamala Harris, off the radar now. You're going to tell me that Kamala Harris is pure as the driven snow?
Are you admitting that Donald Trump has lied?
Yes, people lie. Men lie. Women lie. Everybody lies.
Has
You
he
see,
apologized for those lies?
here's what I'm saying. Obviously, you want Jesus as your candidate. Let's deal with soup.
I want professionalism.
No. Professionalism sometimes.
No.
Are you I'll tell you what. Listen to me. You're being
admitting that
David.
you have Trump derangement syndrome.
Actually, David, you're being unrealistic. What you're trying to suggest to me, and again, this is where you run into the labyrinth again. Okay. You're telling me that you're having a problem with lies. That means 0 lies is your issue, right? You lie once, it's over. So therefore, you can stand for no candidate ever. Ever. Do you understand that? You set the board rule. You set the board game rules here. You said 0 lies. So tell me how you could ever choose a candidate again. Okay? You're the holier than thou. You're the one who's saying that we can't accept any. So I put that up against you, and now all of a sudden you sit up here and you want to run into a different wall.
So you're admitting you have Trump
Who
derangement
cares
syndrome.
what? First of all, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. What I'm defending here's what I'm doing, David. David, here's what I'm doing. I'm challenging your reasoning when you start going after Donald Trump, or for anybody else for that matter that you disagree with. If I agree with Donald Trump, and I'm going to say, and I can say it openly, if I have a problem with Donald Trump, I will tell you what the problem is. But I support the man, and I would like him as the president of the United States. I would like to have him back in the Oval Office. I am 100% clear with you. I will not lie to you. I will not diddle with you and play around with you. But you start setting the criteria of talking about, you start using this term as though J.D. Vance is his lapdog and obedient. What vice president isn't obedient, if you're going to use that word, to the president of the United States? He's the most powerful man in the world. He has an agenda that the American people have voted him in to succeed in, and the person who is running side by side with him should follow said agenda. He should be loyal, and he should be dedicated to the mission of the president of the United States. That's it. You don't like that? Fine. You have every right not to like it. But don't sit around and tell me that you're going to now change the rules to them to fit the gospel of David. For what? What about the rest of us? And what makes you, hold on, David, what makes you omnipotent?
You're going to try to filibuster me on
No, David, it's my show.
Allow me to speak?
What makes
you ever allowing me to speak?
Yeah, go ahead, David. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Sure.
Okay, so he's had 40, if I understand right, there were 44 different cabinet officials that he had, and he hired and fired them. And of those 44, 40 of them will not endorse him this year.
Have you ever run a business, David?
He is such a terrible liar, and he is such a terrible con artist.
Have you ever run anything, David?
Endorse him.
David, have you ever run anything?
Out of 44 of them.
David, have you ever run anything? You ever been a supervisor? You ever had to fire anyone?
What's that got to do with it?
Are you kidding me?
You're
David, wait. You asked me a question. You can't be serious asking me that question. Let me tell you something. I've fired plenty of people. I've fired them all the time. I've had to tell people that they were inept at their job. May I? I've had to.
Secretary of Defense.
Again, I've had to fire plenty.
Security
they're human. David, just because they're Secretary of State doesn't mean that they walk on water. I've fired plenty of people, and guess what? If I had to fire them,
access to top secret.
I thought we weren't filibustering here, David. I've fired people, and they weren't too kind to being fired.
And they stole, and they realized that the president stole top secret.
You're right. What, he stole them. Are you running into an? Are you running into another? Wait. Are you running to another wall?
Turned them all in.
Wait. Are you running into another wall in the labyrinth? Are you really switching? Are you running into another wall in a labyrinth? Now you want to talk about classified documents? Now you want to talk about classified documents for the president of the United States? Hillary Clinton had 30,000 of them that she deleted. Joe Biden just got caught out there by the Robert Hur. Stop it. Please stop. Robert Hur's report suggested that the president of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, had classified documents sitting in unsecure places in his garage and was sharing them with people without security clearances, like his ghostwriter. And he could not and would not charge him because he was a doddering old man with a failing memory. So if you want to sit up here and talk...
it wasn't.
Why was it? Why didn't he charge him? Why didn't he charge him?
because when it was discovered that he had them, he turned them in right away.
That's not the
Donald
reason why.
Trump
You've never read the
refused to
Robert
give
Hur
them back
report.
for like a year and a half.
David, you've never read the Robert Hur report, obviously. The fact that you would say that the reason why he wasn't charged is because he turned them over right away. How long did he have them, sir? How long did he have them? Some of the documents he had when he was
in some cases, he had them when he was a senator.
Yeah, sir.
And
Is he
when somebody did a full investigation,
David?
he made a point
David?
to return them back in when he found them.
David, at no point, first of all, if he had documents from when he was a senator, that means he's had those classified documents that he took from a skiff for decades. That means he illegally obtained them and illegally.
Well, you're saying that some
David,
of them
I
were
wasn't
top
finished.
secrets. And
Actually,
again,
that
he's
was,
got,
first of all,
prisoner
again,
syndrome.
also, listen, certified in the Hur report that he had classified documents, that he had them for decades. They were sprawn about his house in several places. Not only that, in the Penn Center. See, I actually did the homework. I know exactly where they were. I know how many documents there were. I know exactly who was supposed to have them. And the vice president and a senator was not supposed to have them, only a president of the United States. So again, this is where you run into another wall in the labyrinth.
And what was the total number?
And I'm going to tell it to you one more
What
time.
was the
When you
total
walk
number?
into the wall in the labyrinth,
What was the total number?
David, when you walk into the wall
Total
of the
number.
labyrinth,
What was that again?
again, when you walk into the
got
wall
Trump
of the
derangement
labyrinth,
syndrome,
was he
and
supposed to
you
have
caused
one?
America a lot of problems.
David, was he supposed to have one? Was he supposed to have one while he was senator? Was he supposed to have one when he was vice president?
And has Donald Trump
Was
turned
he
in
supposed to have one? No. You know he wasn't. It was illegally obtained by a senator and a vice president of the United States, and he got no approval from the president, Barack Obama, at the time. He wasn't supposed to have one, and they didn't charge him because he was an old, doddering man with a failing memory. It's the reason why they won't release the audio tape of his interview, because it would totally expose the fact that he is a doddering old man with a poor memory who would look favorably to a jury who would not convict him because he was an old, doddering man who couldn't remember things. That's the sad part about this. And the fact that, again, Donald Trump keeps having to be the criteria to which everything is measured by you folks. And I never understand that. You guys would say that a guy could commit murder, and you would go back to Donald Trump's speech where he said, I could shoot a guy on Fifth Avenue and my poll numbers would go up. You guys would literally support the murder of someone and put it on Donald Trump and says, remember that time when Donald Trump said that? You guys are foolish. You're silly. And the reason why so many people are leaving your party in droves is because of this nonsense. You don't see the writing on the wall, not only because you're too arrogant, it's because you guys in some sort of way, and I don't want to say the word, but I'm just going to say you're silly. You're silly. The fact that I could do this all on the top of my head, I don't need documents. I don't need references to go to. This stuff I have to do every day because I do it 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. It's my job to do that. But you, a person who sits at home, who gets to listen to the news and watch the news all day, you're the one running into a labyrinth, into a brick wall every time you get into an argument with me. Why? Because not only do you not know the facts, you don't care about them. You just hate Donald Trump, and that anger, that violent anger and rage is exactly what led to that assassination attempt on July 13th. And because you people are just white hot angry about a guy who, in your view, is a damn boogeyman. And you have to get rid of him. You think the world's going to be a better place if that man is dead. And you're wrong. The problem is you. The problem is you and people like you, because you cannot calm the hell down and just realize that we're all in this together. You don't have to be volatile about everything. You don't have to say that he's a threat to democracy or a threat to the universe in some sort of way that the aliens are going to come down and blow us all up if Donald Trump becomes president of the United States. It sounds silly because it is. Calm down. Come to Jesus for some odd reason and just chill out. It's not that bad. You guys are going to lose. Deal with it. You've gone way ahead of your skis. You guys can't even define what a woman is. You've gotten that bad. You guys are mutilating children. That's how bad it's gotten. Okay? You guys have men inside women's locker rooms. Do you understand that? Taking over their sports leagues. Okay? You've gone too far. And the only thing you want to do is scream about Donald Trump like he's the boogeyman while the rest of the world is on fire. If you're trying to distract us, nice try. We get it now. You're never going to get anybody or convince anybody on this side. And guess what? We're convincing more people on the other side because they recognize what the truth is. They see it. It's in their homes. It's in their schools. It's at the grocery store. It's when they pay their rent or try to buy a house. They see it every day. Your side is killing them. And I'm sorry, they see Donald Trump in some ways as a bit of salvation. Maybe we can get back to some normalcy. They don't see him as the boogeyman like you do. They see him in a completely different way. And when you guys get confused, when you can't make your case, when you can't just make your case without running all over the place, into the labyrinth, running into brick walls, when you can't just be consistent, what makes you think you're going to win in November? You can't win. Your objective is to destroy. You want to kill the babies. You want to kill life. You want to mutilate children so that they can't reproduce. You want to destroy cities when you don't get your way. You want to abolish the police so that law and order be damned and there's just nothing but ruckus and things running amok. Are you insane? You can't convince us that we're crazy. We know who the crazies are. I would tell you to seek professional help. But you'd probably call that therapist a Trump supporter. I hate to be so. Like I said, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. 5 o'clock focus is coming up. I'll bring it up in the next hour. Let's get to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're traveling on the southbound side of I-91, you're going to see some delays in Hartford as you move from 33 Jennings Road down to 32 A and B. Again, some more slow traffic as you move down between exit 25, S&N, down to exit 23 in Rocky Hill. Earlier accident between 23 and 24. Between 23 and 22 has been cleared from the right shoulder. Also, an earlier accident, 91 southbound between 19 and 18. That's also been cleared, so just a little bit of a delay there now as you move between 19 and 18. Northbound, right at the end of the Parkway in Meriden, delays Miller Avenue up to exit 68 N&E. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound side of 84, tied up 56 Governor Street to 46 Sisson Avenue. 84 eastbound, you've got delays as you move up on 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 through 84 looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound. That's in good shape as you move Glastonbury into the Marlboro exits. If you are traveling into Middletown right now, that looks real good. Both sides of 9 in the Aragodi Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 westbound in Waterbury, some slow traffic, 23 up into the Mixmaster. Now, if you're traveling on the eastbound side of 84, slow traffic in Danbury by exit 3. Again, 84 eastbound, you've got some tight traffic as you move between 8 and 9 as you move into Newtown. And 91 southbound, you've got delays from exit 8 down to exit 4 in New Haven. 95 southbound delays from 48 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Save money on your next oil change with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $10 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
WTIC weather.
Partly sunny, breezy, and cooler today. The high of 71. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy, but quite comfortable. The low down to 55. Boy, that west-northwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained overnight. Then for Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, a shower in spots in the afternoon. The high of 71. Thursday, pleasant with sun and some clouds, a little milder. The high moving up to 74. And Friday, partly sunny and warmer. The high of 80. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
5 o'clock, 69 degrees, partly sunny skies in Hartford. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Cleanup continues from the historic flooding that occurred over the weekend, primarily in western Connecticut. Today, Governor Lamont requested an emergency declaration for the areas of Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. Lamont made the request to President Biden and FEMA. That section of the state saw the most damage to roads, bridges, and property. 2 people died in Oxford in separate incidents in which they were swept away by flood waters. The DOT has been working with local officials to assess, clean, and repair washouts. Route 34 saw significant damage. Lamont declared a civil preparedness emergency in response to the flooding on Monday. The Connecticut Insurance Department says it is available to assist residents in the aftermath of the flood. The deputy commissioner there, Gerardo Sullivan, says homeowners should check their policies to see what's covered. Generally, damage from downed trees or wind would be covered. Flood insurance would cover structural and content damage. O'Sullivan says many vehicles were also damaged as well.
People might want to check their policy, see if they have comprehensive coverage on their policy, and that would be the portion of the policy that would pay for the flooding damage to vehicles.
He says the department is holding a virtual claims center on Wednesday for those who need assistance. More information is available at the Connecticut Insurance Department website. Some Democratic heavy hitters like former President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama expected to address the convention today in Chicago. One who won't, California Governor Gavin Newsom.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been a prominent surrogate for Joe Biden all year long, but now that his friend and fellow Californian Kamala Harris has taken Biden's place, Newsom is taking a step back. Instead of having a featured speaking slot on stage, the governor will announce California's delegate vote for Harris from the convention floor, putting the ticket over the top in the ceremonial roll call.
That is reporter Doug Sovern in Chicago. Meantime, former President Trump is continuing his campaign blitz through Michigan.
When we go back to the White House, you're going to see support the likes of which you haven't seen certainly in 4 years.
He spoke to voters about crime, safety, and border security. GOP vice presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance was in Wisconsin. State Insurance Department held public hearing today at the Capitol. The 2025 insurance rate increase requests from Connecticut, United Healthcare, Oxford, and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. State Attorney General William Tong says the 8.3% individual rate and 11% small group rate increase requests should be rejected because there's no evidence to support large hikes. Brandon Rousseau is the sales director at Anthem and points the finger at increasing prescription drug costs.
In Connecticut, constraints on mid-year formulary changes enable drug manufacturers to raise the price of prescription drugs, driving significant cost growth while restricting payers' ability to contain costs.
Companies also blaming increased healthcare and hospital costs for their need to increase rates. Hartford Public Schools, they gave away free backpacks, about 5,000 of them today at an annual event at Duncan Park. This mom, Jasmine, says it's important.
Very important, especially for people who can't afford school supplies and backpacks and things that they need to get them ready for school.
Sponsors paid for about 90% of the giveaway, according to Superintendent Leslie Torres Rodriguez. She says it's an example of what can be done when outside sources step up with funds. Working with the school system's financial constraints, she says she's constantly trading off one program against another.
So we try to do a little bit of everything, and sometimes that's not the best strategy, right? Sometimes it's how can we do a lot of one thing to see big gains, and it's hard. It's hard to, right? So we're always in a trade-off mode.
Hartford schools have a multi-million-dollar budget deficit leading to program limitations for the next school year, which begins 1 week from today. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 61 points today. NASDAQ was down 59, S&P down 11 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Steve Tosta's got a friend in his patrol dog.
It stops any viruses from affecting our computers.
Steve is a co-owner of Companion Industries, a manufacturer of metal stampings and tool and die work, serving industries locally and nationally. He's seen Patrol Dog from Tab Computer Systems in action.
One of our employees was working on the network and noticed there was multiple files on the server. We called Tab, and they caught it immediately before.
30 seconds, going right in.
Steve's prepared for IT emergencies with an affordable service plan from Tab.
Call the help desk and they're right on it. If it's an emergency, they'll send a tech out right away.
So I got
to
Joe,
try
Fred.
to resolve the
A
problem.
couple people dropped, so
We'll make up a new one.
1-888.
yeah. I'll wait till after.
Tab
Okay.
for help or at tabinc.com.
See who hangs on.
Texting business.
Yes, I would absolutely recommend Tab.
Tab Computer Systems.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Yes, today on the 5 o'clock focus, this week is tax-free week in Connecticut. And I gotta admit, folks, I'm out of touch on the tax-free week. I just never really participated at any time in my life. I know it's a big deal, and it's perfect because it's back to school, right? So, but I gotta be honest, and someone's got to call in and sort of answer this for me. It's tax on anything under $100. But with inflation, what could you possibly get that's worth $100 today that you would not? I understand it's like every item that's $100. So like if I bought a pair of sneakers for $99 and another pair of $99 sneakers, both of them would be tax free. I get it. I think that's a brilliant idea. I remember that you had to only buy up to $100. You buy 5 items and they were up to $100, then you would get the tax-free thing. But I understand that this time it's every item that you buy that's under $100 is tax-free. But are there sneakers out there? I think I bought some sneakers recently. Well, my wife bought them recently that were just about $60. So sneakers are, that's in there. But are there a lot of things that you can buy for under $100 anymore that are even worth like taking advantage of the tax-free week?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's my question. So I want to know what those things are, and I know the usual, right? You get some T-shirts, maybe you get some underwear and that kind of stuff. I get that, but is there anything that you could get that? I'm a guy. Talk to me like I'm a guy. Hey, Reese, this is $100. Do drones? I always see drones at like a little bit more than $100 because I like drones. I love drones.
No electronics stuff.
No electronics? See, that's my point. Because like guys buy electronic stuff. So I almost feel like it's all going to be garments, right? It's going to be shirts, some socks, underwears, maybe some shoes. Did I say underwears? God, like I'm 7. Underwear. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, have you taken advantage of the tax-free week so far?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's what I'm saying. So how about your wife? Did she even bother to?
Maybe for my son, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she's probably going to buy him stuff for school.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like
he's got stuff that he's never worn. I don't think he even knows half the stuff that's in his closet. It's like we just keep buying stuff. Well, she keeps buying stuff. for
Right.
him, and
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what
what's in
under $100 would be something that a guy would go that would be cool for him to go. Cologne, maybe. I mean, I almost feel like guys don't get something from the tax-free week that they would, under $100 that would be cool outside of the clothing realm. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it only serves that purpose. But maybe that's maybe that's the good thing. I don't know. I'm just being a guy.
So it's just garments, right? Garments and shoes and sneakers, right? $100 or less. Is that what you get?
Right, exactly. So
I don't think it's anything else. So
okay.
Stuff that we would buy I don't think is included in that.
Do kids still buy lunch boxes and stuff?
Well, I
don't know. They get lunch bags or whatever that stuff is. Do kids still bring the stuff home?
Remember we had the the metal ones when we were kids. Lunch boxes and stuff.
Not only did I love my lunchbox, but I had a $6 million lunchbox, and I thought I was the richest kid in school.
$6 million man one.
$6 million man.
Major?
Yeah, with Lee Majors.
Lunchbox?
Oh
wow.
man, I used to walk with it, and I used to go.
I can see you doing that. But if you did that now, people would look weird at you. Back then, no, people would go, that's cool. He's like Lee Majors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I did it today, somebody would come to me in a long coat and say, "Put this on. Come in this room. It's rubber."
We're coming to take you away. Ha ha. Hee hee. Ha ha. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, overall, a pretty good ride out here on the eastbound side of 84. Got delays approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 46 Sisson Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32 A and B. Another bump down by exit 25 S and N in Weathersfield. After that, you get a good ride down into Meriden. Northbound side 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84 okay. East of the river 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 southbound a little slow at the traffic lights at the Aragoni Bridge. Northbound Wilburcross Parkway at the end of the parkway. Got some slow traffic now from Miller Avenue up to 68 and an E in Meriden. Westbound 84 into Waterbury a little slow as you approach the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 eastbound in Newtown delays 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway some slow traffic by 60 in Hamden. 91 southbound delays 4 in toward the 95 interchange, and 95 southbound New Haven tied up from 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and quite cool tonight. The low down to 54 with a busy west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained overnight. Then a mix of clouds and sun. Quite cool for August for our Wednesday. We'll have a shower in spots during the afternoon, too, the high of 71. Thursday, pleasant day, sun, some clouds, a little milder, the high up to 74. The warming trend continues right through the end of the weekend into the weekend. Friday, partly sunny, the high of 80. A beautiful late summer weekend coming up. Saturday, partly sunny, the high of 85. Mostly sunny, quite warm on Sunday, the high up to 87. Bristol at 67 right now. Mansfield at 66. At 70 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on the WTIC Weather Center.
Listen tomorrow night, beginning with the pregame at 6:20 for the Yard Goats as they take on the New Hampshire Fisher Cats right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Save with summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get the tools and parts you need for your next brake job with Brake Best Select. Select Pro and Import Direct brake pads and rotors now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that money.
I didn't catch that. What'd you say?
Oh, did you give me a new list?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
Assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus. Focus, man.
And we're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. So the 5 o'clock focus, what are the cool things that you can buy on tax-free week? It's not a lot. I'm looking at the list, and I think, look, if you really want to help out Connecticut, or in any state for that matter, if you want to help out the consumer, don't just, the school, back-to-school stuff is school. But some of this stuff that's on the list that you cannot get a tax break on is ridiculous. And let me explain why. This is actually on the Connecticut.gov site. It breaks down. It says, example of clothing or footwear that are taxable even if sold for less than $100. So athletic supporters, jewelry, shoes, ballet, bicycle, bowling, cleated, football, golf, track, jazz, tap, and turf. Now, if your school has one of those activities, you shouldn't have to pay that. That should be a part of the tax-free thing. Who cares about that stuff? Can you believe that barrettes, little hair barrettes, are not tax-free? Hello? That's insanity. I don't know what, are they serving lobster in school? Because lobster bibs are not on there. Neither are shower caps. You got to pay taxes on that. Again, whoever put this list together is insane. Wallets, waders, water ski vests. Okay, all right, fine. That makes sense. Insoles, arch supports. All of these are not on the list. You can't get a tax break for them. Headbands, handbags, and purses. Maybe I can understand that. But this is weird. Gloves, athletic, garden, golf, tennis, work, rubber, or surgical. Goggles, martial arts attire. Boots, fishing, mountain climbing, padlock, riding, ski, and firefight. Well, that makes no sense. But all of the other stuff that's on here, fine. These are all working. I don't understand this. For shoes, it's aerobic, basketball, boat running without cleats, safety suitable for everyday wear. That's on the list, but there is none for shoes, including ballet, bicycle shoes, bowling or cleated, football, golf, track, or jazz, tap, or turf. I don't understand that. This is insane. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. Well, let's get back to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Joe's in New Hampshire. How are you doing, Joe?
Hey, Reverend. I was entertained by that call from San Francisco. And you know who you were talking to, don't you?
I do not.
His name, he wasn't really David. It was Adam Schiff out of California. And your show has become so popular, you're dangerous to the Democrat Party. You're picking out all the points.
I've been there before.
And they find you a danger, so they have Democrat operatives calling your show and acting accordingly. But you handled it beautifully.
Thank you, sir.
But what they're doing is making you use up bullets of airtime, because you're not going to get anywhere with these people. And I'm surprised you didn't get after him for claiming he was from San Francisco, asking him about the sidewalk and street conditions there.
You know what? I didn't look. As much as I was trying not to cast aspersions, but he's right about that. I mean, they've got a poo map in San Francisco. But again, look, I think I made the point when I said it, Joe, that they are oblivious to the nonsense that's around them. Because again, their white hot heat anger, it's towards Donald Trump, and their visible anger towards him makes them blind to everything they're living in.
Yeah, he filibustered like Adam Schiff. He lied like Adam Schiff. He wouldn't listen to any of your points like Adam Schiff wouldn't. So I say he was Adam Schiff or maybe his twin brother. But getting on to more pleasant things for you, you need a break, a mental brain break from what you just went through. I got some really strong investment tips for November, the day after the election. But just before I get to that, you made a movie recommendation last week, Swimming with Sharks.
Yes. Did you see it?
I went on YouTube over the weekend and, got a site, watched it intently. It was kind of funny because you don't realize it in the beginning, but the whole movie is like a flashback.
That's it. Exactly.
From the beginning. And then the end of the movie, you return to the beginning of the movie and you kind of figure out what happened and why it happened.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Kevin Spacey did a marvelous job as the boss from hell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I had a boss from hell almost as bad during my day, and it was a she. Mm-hmm. And she was from Germany. She had been in the Hitler Youth Movement as a girl. When the war ended, she was only 6, but her father was a captain in the SS. And the environment she grew up in lent to her personality as a manager. And she recently passed. She was about 82, 83.
Wow.
I retired 10 years ago. She retired before me. But she was kind of close to that Kevin Spacey boss. But the other thing that came to mind about Kevin Spacey playing that role, that movie came out in 1994.
Yeah.
The following year in 1995, Kevin Spacey kind of starred or co-starred in a blockbuster movie with Brad Pitt in 1995. Do you remember that movie? It was a dark homicide movie with Morgan Freeman as Brad Pitt's detective sidekick.
Seven,
yes. And at the end of that movie, just like the end of the movie of Swimming with Sharks, there's Kevin Spacey kneeling on the ground as the sociopath, begging Brad
right.
to kill him. Just like Kevin Spacey was begging that the actor's name to shoot him. Well, in the 94 movie, he did get shot.
Yeah.
It's inferred.
Joe, hold on for me 1 second.
Movie,
Joe, hold on for me 1 second. I want to keep you on hold because I want to get the rest of the guys out here because I want to get to your other financial thing because I know it's going to take long. Let me go to Tom in Thomaston real quick. Hey, Tom, you're on Reese On Radio.
Hey, Democrat with something else. First off, isn't Trump derangement syndrome the definition of someone that is crazy that Trump's here? So that he has Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, I know.
Not a guy like you.
Well, that
Not
was
a
the
guy
reason
like
why
you.
I called it the Trump derangement labyrinth because they get caught up in these little stupid little pockets inside the maze that they can't get out of because as soon as they hit a brick wall, somebody comes at them with some facts. They don't know where to go, so they back up and they go another direction with another argument. And that's where he is. He gets trapped. There's only one way out, and it's the way you came in. Just leave.
He proved he was wrong because only one of those three people, Trump, Biden, and Hillary, had a legal right to keep documents, and that was the president.
That's right.
And Trump was the only one president at the time.
And I think he knew.
Both of them two should have been, well, they never would have put him in jail.
Right.
They should have been convicted of a crime because that is illegal.
That's right. And they know,
Unless
listen,
president.
he knows that. But again, like I said, all criterias are met at the level of Donald Trump. And again, that it doesn't matter what it is. And I think that analogy is accurate. If one of their favorite Democrats had actually shot a man in the street, their argument would be, well, Donald Trump said he could shoot a guy on Fifth Avenue and his poll numbers would go up. And I'm going, that's relevant. Why? It makes no sense, but that's how they make. I'll say this with you, Tom. You'll love this one. Back in the days when Barack Obama was running for office and everybody was, deifying him as they always did. I remember I had this one joke that I said is about Barack Obama. I said, did you hear Barack Obama slapped a baby? And their response was, ooh, what did the baby do?
Yeah,
that's the way that they respond. Exactly. So, you can't get anywhere. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. Let's go to Matt in Bristol, my good friend. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Mr. Hopkins.
How are you, sir?
I thought you needed a friendly voice after that call because I've never seen you get heated like that. You're normally calm, cool, and collective.
Usually I'm, but I think that when you see somebody going off the rails like that, and it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I do get a little exercise when there is no reason. Make every argument you want, but just have reason behind it. Let it all make sense. But when it doesn't, it's just about, I hate the guy. I don't care about reason, rationale, or accountability. I just hate him. And my view is just say that.
Well, the reason you got so heated about that is because that's like a Democrat coming up to you and saying, no, you don't understand. These people need extra help. And and then calling you a racist for not agreeing with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the case.
Yeah. So So and I told you before, you're getting so popular. Like the other guy said, you're getting conference callers now.
Yeah.
Especially when we talk about them. And I'm telling you, you're getting too popular. So get ready. There's going to be more of them.
I know. Thank you, Matt. I'm hoping that it's not that bad. Let me get to Dolores. I love you, buddy. Let's go to Dolores in Berlin.
Dolores, Chris, and Matt. Mike.
Okay. Hi, Dolores. You're on with Reese on the Radio. How are you?
No Dolores.
Oh, no Dolores. Oh,
Chris and Mike.
Okay, let's go to Chris in Berlin. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Reese.
So last time I went to tax-free week,
Yes.
I walked in and I saw it was Marshall's in Old Saybrook.
Okay.
It's a very nice Marshall's. They have a lot of name brands.
Not all of them are great, but you're right. That one's nice.
Yeah, the line was out the door.
Wow.
It was mobbed. I said, never again. I left. But so it is popular.
But here's my thing. You said the line was out the door. Was that just to get in to shop?
No, that was to pay.
To pay. Okay, yeah. The lines get crazy.
It was mobbed.
So
I said,
again,
never again. I just walked out.
but were you
I think,
buying?
when you have a kid,
Were you buying for
weird.
children, Chris? Were you buying for kids?
No, myself.
Oh, okay. I mean, take advantage when you take advantage. But so you didn't. You just went to Marshall's. You didn't go to anywhere else.
No, I said no. I'm not doing this anymore.
I'll ask you this: was it comparable to what's it called? Oh, to like Black Friday. Was it that bad?
Yeah, I never go out. Black Friday, I do Amazon usually.
Do you? Oh, really? Did I ever tell you my
Yeah,
Amazon
good deal.
story, Chris? Did I ever tell you my
No.
Amazon story? Okay, it's a great story. I know I've told it ad nauseum, but for those of you who've heard it, indulge me. It's 1996, maybe 97. I'm at Washington Square Park, and I just come back from shopping. I was trying to find a pair of jeans, and because I'm 6'3", or at the time I was about 6'1", and my waist is really, really small at the time. It's really skinny kid. I think it was like a 32, 34 waist, but I could not find, in Manhattan of all places, I couldn't find a pair of jeans anywhere. Just couldn't find them. Nothing in my size. It was either too high or too wide. And I was telling my friend, I was like, how ticked off I was. I said, I feel like there's no one who's my size at the store. They didn't have anything for me. So the guy goes, you can buy them online. And I went, well, who does that? I like going to the store and actually picking out the stuff and trying it on. It's like, what if it sucks when I get it in the house? He's like, well, you can return it. I'm like, what's this? I was like, what website is this you could buy it from? He says, this new site. It's called Amazon.com. And I go to him, Amazon.com. He goes, yeah, they sell everything from jeans to Cuisinarts, the whole bit. You just order it and they'll deliver it to your home. And I look at him and I go, yeah, that'll never work. Nobody's going to buy into that.
Wow.
I said, nobody's going to like that. That sounds silly. Who would do that? Sure enough. And I look at it, every time I look at Amazon, my wife, of course, who loves Amazon, every time I look at the package, I just kind of like look at myself and I just go, you could have got it on the ground floor, idiot. I could have.
Sure. Sometimes you need something like even just like sponges. You don't feel
Exactly.
like running out for sponges. The next day it's delivered.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
free if you're
I'll
a
always have Amazon to remind me of the dumbest mistake I've ever made in my life, investment wise. Thank you, Chris. Stay on the line, Joe. We're going to get to you on the other side because I want to hear about that investment stuff for November. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. And if you are heading into downtown Hartford right now, and you're on the southbound side of 91, look for delays from 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump as you move down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line, and more slow traffic approaching, getting by exit 22 for the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell up into Winter. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Bulkey Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. Eastbound 84 delays approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the downtown tunnel. 2 eastbound turning a little slow in East Hartford out by exit 5C. If you're traveling 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. Both sides of 9 a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Heading toward Waterbury, 84 westbound delays 25A up to exit 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Newtown delays 9 up to exit 11. Southbound Parkway, you're slowing 61 down to 60. 91 southbound delays from 7 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. Also in New Haven, 95 southbound delays from 48 down to 44. And in Farmington, Route 10 Waterville Road is shut down between Route 4 and Aqueduct Lane from an accident that occurred earlier this afternoon. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by Floor & Decor. Unbeatable prices, unmatched in-stock selection.
Floor & Decor has more styles of laminate, vinyl, tile, wood, and stone for anyone looking for the right look at the right price. Your next beautiful space is at Floor & Decor.
WTIC weather.
Partly sunny, breezy, and cooler today. The high of 71. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy, but quite comfortable. The low down to 55. Boy, that west-northwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained overnight. Then for Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, a shower in spots in the afternoon. The high of 71. Thursday, pleasant with sun and some clouds, a little milder, the high moving up to 74. And Friday, partly sunny and warmer, a high of 80. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. Governor Lamont has submitted a request for federal aid for areas devastated by flooding from heavy rains over the weekend. Lamont made the request to President Biden and FEMA for emergency declarations for Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. The cleanup is progressing in those areas, but it's going to be a long haul. The Connecticut Insurance Department is offering guidance for those who've been impacted. They have a number of tips and suggestions at their website, portal.ct.gov/CID. Woman is dead following a fiery crash on Interstate 395 in Lisbon. State troopers say Angeli Barrios was killed when her vehicle, the vehicle that she was riding in, hit a bridge abutment near exits 18 and 19, northbound in Lisbon. The driver of the vehicle is in the hospital. Former President Obama is returning to his hometown of Chicago, the Democratic National Convention. It's night 2. It's 20 years after he made his coming out party. It was 2004 when Obama was a young state senator from Illinois, stumping for then nominee John Kerry. Specialist cave divers working in 12-minute underwater shifts are searching for 6 missing passengers and crew, including British tech tycoon Mike Lynch, believed to be in the submerged wreck of a luxury yacht that was slammed by a powerful storm and swiftly sank off Sicily. Dow was down 61 points on Wall Street today. The Nasdaq off 59 and the S&P down 11. Red Sox and Houston here tonight. 7:10 is the pregame after the news. Yanks and the Guardians begin a series at the stadium, and the Mets are home too. They take on the Baltimore Orioles. Eastern League Yard Goats and New Hampshire out at Duncan Park, and in the WNBA, it's the Connecticut Sun in L.A. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, Tom Shattuck here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the few last weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Tom, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 80 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. No, mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it. You'll be saying it too in just a few weeks from now. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Make your consultation now at 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Prescriptions required.
1 minute.
Patient with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit,
and 10 going right in.
hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus. I'm focused, man.
We're back. It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I think I've got some time. Let's get Joe back in here. Joe, you there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
I had to put you on hold, but I've got Michael B is in the chat room. He wants to know if UVIX will keep going down or is it about to go up? He says, please, can you tell him?
Well, I wanted to clarify the UVIX situation. Remember when I got in around 6 and it shot up to 1990, that big sell-off 2 Mondays ago?
Yeah.
And when I was talking to you the day before, it was at 10. Well, I got out around 1960.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I almost got back in at 10, and I said, no, I'm going to wait one more day, and I'm glad I did. Well, it bottomed out at 402 yesterday.
Wow.
Today, it's back up to 440 because today the market was down a bit. Now, if the market goes down again tomorrow, I'm jumping back into UVIX with both feet because I'm playing with the house money on that. You know, I got in at 6. I got out at 1980, 60, whatever it was. So I more than tripled my money, and I've been holding on to that money. But I can get 3 times as much stock for the money I cashed out at. But I'm going to get back in tomorrow if the market's down because at $4 and change, it's a bargain. You look at the 52-week high, it's 45. 1 year ago this week, UVIX was at 45. You can check the chart. So that's the potential when the market really starts to sell off. But UVIX is a buy tomorrow if the market's down. And I don't care if it goes down to 350 or 375. I mean, it's when the market sells off, it's going to – and I think September is when it's really going to sell off. Now, I'm glad you asked me that because I was going to clarify that. The second thing, November, the day after the election, November 6th, I'm advising everyone, whatever you can afford, people have 401ks, et cetera, et cetera. This is something you have 7 weeks to prepare for, 8 weeks to prepare for.
Okay.
Oil and gasoline. Now, if Trump wins the election, he doesn't have to be president yet. The oil markets will collapse. Short USO, United States Oil Fund, it's trading today, I believe, around $73 a barrel. I forget what the stock is. But you take out a 30 or 60-day short on November 6th because oil will plummet. If the Democrats win on November 6th, buy calls. It's going to go way over $100 a barrel, maybe $120. So you can't lose. It's just what way you're going to go based on the results of the election on November 6th.
All right. Okay.
When Trump won in 16, oil went down about 50-60% over the next several months. When Biden won the election, well, oil was at 39, and by the time he was sworn into office, it was up to 65, and then it went up to 90. But the market is always forward. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be sworn in on the 20th of January for the stock.
For the market, the market always responds to exactly what's the headwinds, so to speak. It responds.
Yeah, so the market's going to react on November 6th. Oil and the United States Gasoline Fund (UGA) would be if Biden wins, or not Biden, Kamala Harris, or the Democrats win. You would buy futures on United States Gasoline Fund, which is at 61 today. It's right in the middle of its 52-week spread. But if Trump wins, that's going to plummet too, because the forward guidance is things are going to go back to when he was president before. And gasoline was basically
that was his
gallon, give or take.
With the exception of immigration, that was his baby, getting gas prices down. That's exactly the case. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that, man. Every time you call in, man.
November 6th, you have to make your move at 9:30 in the morning on November 6th, up or down.
Thank you, Joe. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Let's get into BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
All right, thank you very much, Reese. If you're heading toward Hartford right now, westbound side of 84 delays, approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound, look for slow traffic, 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91 delays, 33 down to 32 A&B. Another bump as you move down by exit 23 in Rocky Hill, West Street. Northbound 91 moves well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 290 went through 84, no issues. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. Now in Farmington, Route 10 Waterville Road is shut down between Route 4 and Aqueduct Lane because of an accident that happened earlier this afternoon. Ongoing investigation with that. Now, if you are traveling into Middletown, that's okay. 9 in the Aragoni Bridge looking good. 84 eastbound Waterbury slow, 17 to 18. Westbound 84 is tied up in Waterbury 23 up to exit 22. Eastbound side of 84 slowing by 3. 84 eastbound again tied up from exit 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays in Hamden 61 to 60. 91 southbound New Haven slowing 3 and toward the 95 interchange, and 95 southbound delays 48 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, partly cloudy, breezy, and quite cool tonight. The low down to 54. A sustained west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour overnight. Then a mix of clouds and sun. Quite cool for the late August here as we head into Wednesday. Watch for a shower in spots for the afternoon. The high only 71. Then Thursday, pleasant sun, some clouds. The high up to 74. We've got a warming trend that'll continue through the end of the week and right through the weekend. Partly sunny Friday, the high up to 80. Saturday, partly sunny, up to 85, and very warm on Sunday under mostly sunny skies, rounding out the weekend on a really beautiful late summer note, the high of 87. Right now, Waterbury at 63, New London at 68, Mansfield 66, and it's 70 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
If you or someone you care about has been injured in an accident, you need the Carter Mario Law Firm, Connecticut's firm for the injured. We are ready to fight for you 24/7. So go to getcarter.com or call us at 877-GET-CARTER.
Columbia Implant Center in Manchester offers the leading edge in technology, which allows for dental procedures start to finish in one day. From a single tooth replacement to complete reconstruction, we do it all. Call 860-730-6020 or ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
I'm elder law attorney Haley O'Lear. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Kate from Farmington. My husband had a stroke a year ago. I worked with a wonderful team of people that helped me rewrite my will and navigate the Medicaid application. They even came to our home to meet us, understand our needs, and connect us with a healthcare agency.
Find out more at AlairElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding.
Who was here in
So he
2021?
steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out.
Thank
of
you,
hand.
everybody.
And who knows, Ranger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Labor Day signals that fall is fast approaching. Apple picking, fall leaves, and chilly nights are on the horizon. With Legacy Box, you can cozy up and watch something special this fall. Your family's home movies. Legacy Box is the simple, safe, all-inclusive solution for preserving your family's memories trapped on videotapes, film, even photos. After 10 years in business, Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer. They've helped over 1 million families relive their wedding days, babies' first steps, and family road trips. Just fill Legacy Box with your VHS tapes, film reels, or pictures. Legacy Box digitizes it all by hand right here in the USA, and then sends it back on a thumb drive or the cloud. Future-proof your recorded moments today so you can gather the family and begin memory lane.
Take us
Plus,
up.
for a limited time, they're offering 55% off. Go to legacybox.com/value to get 55% off. That's legacybox.com/value.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm going to fine-tune this Reese and Roland outing. I'm going to figure out a way to incorporate it so we can do something, maybe to get everybody involved. Maybe not a raffle, but something where there's sort of an event, you know? I'll do a little bit of DJing. Roland will maybe MC, kick a verse. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. We are almost out of here. This is what I'd like to say is, this is perfect, what you're about to hear. So Donald Trump, and he was so quick-witted to do this. It turns out Donald Trump was in, at I guess, a Michigan press conference today. He went to Howell, Michigan, and he was giving a press conference. And while he was there, a reporter asked what had to be the dumbest question. So, taking the talking points of the Kamala Harris campaign Instead of doing their own research, they just, hey, Kamala Harris said this, and then you repeat it to Donald Trump. Instead of going to your research and go, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Harris, I can't ask this question. This is silly. Your boss was here. What was the question? The reporter asked, Kamala Harris's campaign attacked you for being in this town because it's associated with white supremacy. Donald Trump responded like this.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
To the smiling and clapping of the police department, she had to answer Joe Biden. Again, he's got better chops than I do, or at least resolve than I do, because I would have responded by saying, okay, now go home, stupid. Okay? Now, I want you to go home and tell your boss to take a week's pay away from you for asking that ridiculous question. You knew that he was here. You knew that. She answered the question she asked him. It's just ridiculous. 860-522-WCI, 9842, whatever. Let's go to Craig in the car. Hello, Craig. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
You, every day you do this, but today you were masterful at it, and that is proving Rush Limbaugh was always right, that liberalism is a mental disorder.
It is.
That guy was completely unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's like having a conversation with any liberal.
Don't
matter, but you laid him out.
Craig, you know what's one thing that I said? There's that one tipping point. I know you heard me talk about it recently. When I showed my wife the video of the fall of Minneapolis, I said, hey, let's watch this movie. And she watched it. I didn't tell her what it was about, but she loves documentaries, so I kind of got her in a sweet spot. And she watched that at the end of it, and she just goes, oh, my God, I didn't know. And that's all you need. That's all you need.
Well, and that's okay. It's the people that do know, and it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's
They
true.
just look past it, and it's that boiling hatred that they have inside. I watched the convention last night, and I've never seen an angrier group of people in my life. What a contrast!
It's true, and at the same time, the contrast, and that's the scary part about it, Craig, is that with all of that vitriol, they're trying to tell us that the party is filled with joy. How can it be? If it's all this anger and resentment and what the world's going to turn into if we lose. Wait a minute, I thought you were joyful. I thought everybody should be joyful. What are you afraid of? Isn't there joy in your party? And this idea that if we lose, we can't accept it. It sounds like if you lose, you won't be able to accept it.
So on your 5 o'clock focus,
yes, sir.
I want to ask you a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad you brought up the sales tax thing because my wife and I were talking about it last night.
Okay.
If giving a week of no sales tax to help people out and to stimulate the economy makes sense, why doesn't it make sense for 52 weeks?
It's a great question, and I don't think a week helps. It's kind of the reason why I brought it up, because I feel like this isn't. There are some parents who get slayed when school time starts up and you got to buy back to school stuff. This is helpful, that sales tax, outside of subsidizing their school items or their school clothes. But I don't think that this is, I think it's a very small subset of the state that benefits from it. Sure, there places like Marshall's will be through the roof, out the door, like Chris said. But other places that could be making some bank or people could probably help themselves with is a Lowe's, is a Home Depot, is a Walmart, other than just the clothing there, but other items that are in Walmart. The tax-free thing would be helpful in a lot of areas. They need to expand it. It can't just be clothing. It's got to be in other areas.
Well, and you're not going to see it at the Carhartt store, and you're not going to see an impact at Tractor Supply.
No.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, that's true. But like I said,
you're going to buy for under.
Yeah, you have to do it in the places where people, I get the school shopping thing. That makes sense. But it's got to be expansive. It's got to be large. And some of the things that they have on there, if the kid wants to join sports, you don't include cleats in that for the kids. Why not? Why would you stop there?
Which is the most expensive item.
Exactly.
You see what a pair of cleats cost?
Yes, I know. We had a boy who was in track and was on the football team. So yeah, it's never cheap. Parents really could use that. They could use that break.
Yeah, you need a personal loan.
Indeed. And what you don't want to be the parent that tells the kid no. The one thing that every parent needs is a kid to get into extracurricular activities outside of the street. You know?
Yeah, it's such a great topic. The sales tax thing makes no sense. If I go to the grocery store and I buy a loaf of bread, there's no sales tax on it. But if they make it into a sandwich, there is.
That's a good point.
Really?
Someone's not thinking it all the way through. Thank you, Craig. Much appreciated. Let's go to Lori in Glastonbury. Hey, Lori.
Hey, so to quote that song from Hamilton, what did I miss? Because I was listening to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse doing a transport with a kiddo, and I turn on the radio after I drop him off, and I keep hearing people saying, oh, that guy, he lost his poop talking to you. And so I'm just trying to catch up on what did I miss?
A young man from San Francisco called in to, I guess, go after Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and I was just debating him about it, so I kind of, for lack of a better term, I debated him a little bit and kind of took him to the woodshed. You can catch it. Lori, you and I are friends on Facebook, and you can go to Rumble and check it out. It happened about an hour ago. You can check it out live. Or you can go to the Odyssey app and definitely go to WTIC.com.
Okay, all right. I will listen back to that because I'm hearing all these things, and I'm like, whoo, geez, maybe I should have gone back to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. What? I don't even know what happened here.
It was actually, a lot of people were raving about it. I just, for some odd reason now, I feel a little guilty. I have no idea why.
You know what, and I will definitely go back and listen to it because I am going to be having brunch on Sunday with some family members who have TDS, and I need to be properly
prepared.
Yeah, I have to guard my wines in a good way to be able to get into the mix with it.
If your family members are going to be there, can I assist you in one thing? If you are having adult beverages like wine or anything like that, if you're going to get in a debate, don't have too many. Be prepared. Let them drink. You always need them a little bit incapacitated so they can go off the rails.
Thanks for the tip.
No, it works every time. Trust me. I have so many Thanksgivings to remember. And I remember that one of the things I remember, Laura, you remember when Washington Post and Barack Obama were telling people to have a conversation with your family members about the Affordable Health Care Plan? Right? It was like getting your Republican uncle's face. Well, I guess I was the Republican uncle that week, that week, because trust me, every person in that house came after me about the Affordable Care Act. And the crazy part is that years later, when I talk to those people, you know what they tell me? Oh, you were right, but then it was really, really hard to see what everybody. I was like, thank you, man. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like. I kind of throw out the line of like, facts don't care about your feelings. And so we have to vote on policy and not on the person. And they don't understand.
I blame Lori. I blame that one time where that polling data, I can't remember who the pollster was, but I'll look it up. The polling data that said George W. Bush is the candidate I could have a beer with. And at the time, I thought that was clever because it's like he felt like it's somebody who was, I guess he seemed like a normal guy, like a round-the-way guy you can hang out with at the bar. And I thought that was important. Not that it was important. I thought it was a relevant poll that many people said that he seemed. And Bill Clinton, remember, I feel your pain. Those things resonate with people. And it became all about feelings. And little did I know that would be the way a lot of presidential campaigns would be run, would be based on feelings. Barack Obama was a clear example of that. It's because you didn't have to know a thing about Barack Obama. He had 180 days present in office. He gets, I think he becomes a senator in 2006, takes office 2007, runs for office in February of 2007, right? So I think this 2005 gets into 2006, runs in 2007, a virtual unknown. By the way, today, if not, is somewhat the anniversary of his coming out party because he gave the keynote address for John Kerry during his inauguration in 2004. Hard to believe we are 20 years removed from the introduction of Barack Obama, and he's been president for 8 years out of that. So in a span of 20 years, that guy came from in office to president to out of office and the titular head of the Democrat Party, which shows exactly how fast that moved. And he really engaged in everyone on a feeling campaign. He was part of the social media. He was one of the first in the social media realm. And everything about him was, oh my God, he makes me feel good about politics again. Michelle Obama, her famous line, for the first time in my adult life, I'm proud of my country. A lot of people felt that way because he was going to get rid of our racial animus. This feeling that we were going to be beyond our racial differences. Many people in the NBC News, Brian Williams was saying that on the air, live on the air, that Barack Obama was going to take us into the threshold of the future where there was no racial animosity. Little did we know that one guy, Skip Gates, getting arrested in his home by a Boston police officer would change it all.
Right. Well, I'm going to go back and listen to that, and I appreciate you, sir, and I'm sure it was a job well done. I'll enjoy every second, I'm sure.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Care.
All right. I'm sorry. I lost Bob. Yeah, so Barack Obama's going to give the speech tonight. I'm sure many of you will watch. I'll love to hear what he has to say, primarily because of the Daily Beast article, and of course, as I said, him trying to separate Kamala Harris from the Biden administration. That will be the talking point because they have to. They have to separate her. And it's going to be surgical and difficult. It's going to be surgical and difficult to remove her from Joe Biden. But I'm interested to see how they do it. It will be, for lack of a better term, a clinic to watch how they, gloss over it and then how the media will react to it. So we'll have sound bites and all of that on the show tomorrow. Don't forget, you can always check us out and go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, the ReeseOnTheRadio.com website, so you can watch the show. You can also opine, send us an email, send us some hate mail. We like that too. And anything else that might be, hey, if you have some information on a story that we're working on with the Connecticut Green Bank, we'd love to hear from you. If you could send that to us as well, just go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. And let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Good night, my friend.
Well, have a great night, Reese. We'll see you tomorrow. And if you're 91 southbound coming into Hartford, you got delays 33 down to 32 A and B.
All right, sir.
Thank you, sir. Another good one.
Between exit 20.
Yeah, buddy.
We got to do, listen, I'm telling you, we got to do like a party where everybody can come.
Into the downtown tunnel.
We'll play the Four Seasons and doo-wop all night.
Glastonbury tomorrow.
We'll keep it age appropriate. There'll be no Nicki Minaj or Megan Thee Stallion.
We have to do it around all of the Christmas stuff that we do.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. It's got to be around there. We'll work it out. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Southbound Parkway, you're looking at delays now from 6.
Oh man, thank you everybody. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Michael A. I hope you guys all had a great time. I did, as I always do. I will see you back here tomorrow. I love